got John Rourke back in the house.
Let's
Blueline moving. Just got back from another cleanup. Thank you for coming back in.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
So how's everything going?
Everything's good, man. Kids are back in school. Work is not slowed down. Lots of people moving from the Northeast to here still.
No effect from the inflation? Everybody's still moving?
Well,
nothing?
Yeah, locally moves have slowed down, meaning like people selling their house in one part of the neighborhood and moving to a different part of the neighborhood. Those have slowed, but long distance moves have not. People are moving from the Northeast in droves.
Mostly New York? Or like everywhere?
New York, New Jersey, some Connecticut, some Massachusetts, mainly New York and New Jersey, though.
Shit.
Some Chicago, too. I've had a couple of Chicago moves, but the Northeast in general, man. Pennsylvania,
Everybody just wants out of the bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it's really New York, man. I mean, the vast majority of the people are coming from New York. They're not stopping.
That place is crazy.
Well, and school is just about to, either has just started or is about to start for them. So, it's shit or get off the pot time for parents there. Like, you either putting your kid in school and they're going to school in New York, or you're leaving now and getting them into school down here late, but and they'll have to play catch up. So it's in a tough spot. But
what about like Chicago? Are a lot of people moving from Chicago?
I've moved a lot of people from Illinois, a handful from Chicago. I think I moved about 5 or 6 from Chicago, and half of them were cops, retired Chicago PD that were moving down here.
Because this is a fucking nightmare out there too, right?
It is an absolute disaster. Chicago is a disaster area. I mean, it's legit one of those cities that it is just not safe any time of the day for you to be walking in certain areas of Chicago.
I was telling my friend, when you were in here before, and it's still the same. He's like, his kid likes to watch the subway go by. He can't even go down there because half the time he goes down and you hear a shot somewhere.
Yeah, you can catch a stray bullet.
Yeah.
Or you can get just punched in the head and knocked out cold. The knockout games are back. They're doing that again.
Oh, they're just walking up to people and knocking them out.
Randomly knocking people out on sidewalks or wherever.
Now, is that a gang thing? Like, are they doing that because they're in a gang and they have to do it to establish themselves in a gang, or they're just assholes?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there's enough assholes together, then they're probably a gang of assholes. So that's what it seems like to me. It's just, they're just gang, immature, young people that have had, probably have no father figure in their life, no discipline, no sense of respect or common decency for other people.
It goes back to parenting, right?
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
If you don't have a father figure in your life, someone that's there to to reinforce, what you're learning from school and what your mom's teaching, and just being a dad, man, cracking the whip when it has to be done, and toughening the kids up and just leading the way, man. They don't have that, and that's crucial, man.
It's a mess. Did you see, I brought this up on another podcast, but I looked into it more. There's all these Huawei parts in cell phone towers. So like the tower that your phone's hitting, can you pull up tab 2? When your cell phone's pinging off that tower, a lot of those parts are Huawei from China. Now,
I don't doubt that.
How is that possible?
I thought they were trying to ban Huawei.
Now, scroll down, EK. Now, right here, telecom providers such as Vario found, you call that Huawei, right? As cheap and reliable as alternatives, so they put the shit everywhere. So go down a little bit to the picture. So right there, they have them right there. Mushroom of Huawei-equipped cell towers near U.S. military installations. So you got Colorado, F.E. Warren, AFB, you know where that is?
Yeah, yeah.
Nebraska, Wyoming. Look at all those fucking towers just shooting all the data back to China.
I mean, look at the it says that, so that's the coverage area, and look at all the ICBM facilities. So is that, I'm assuming, intercontinental ballistic missile facilities. This is that part of the United States where our military has all kinds of different bases for missile defense and over the horizon capabilities, I guess.
So is that a concern to you?
Yeah. I mean, China in general is just a concern. They're into everything. They're buying up our land along with Bill Gates. I mean,
Look,
our farmland. They're buying it up left and right.
On further probe, the FBI discovered Huawei equipment was capable of recognizing and disrupting Defense Department communication. This was despite the fact that the equipment was cleared and certified by the Federal Communications FCC. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, we're bought and paid for in the United States by China, man. I mean, we have sitting, Congressman Swalwell, who literally was having sexual relations with a Chinese spy. Bro, I think he's in the Armed Services Committee or the Intelligence Committee. Like, he's still working, still doing whatever if that's what he calls his job, like whatever he's doing. But that was a Chinese spy.
Unfucking real.
I mean, he's still.
And they're right by the
right
by the military, right?
Yeah.
And that's so that they can get data on what we're doing.
Of course, or prevent something from happening if they were going to attack us in some way, shape, or form, and somehow they could use those cell towers to, block transmissions or take down something from us. I mean, I don't know.
It's just odd that they're putting it right by military shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, duh. Like, it makes you think, like, it's China, bro. Like, everything they do is they're playing for keeps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they play the long game, so they're going to do whatever we'll allow them to do. If we'll allow them to put, cell phone towers around military bases that they could potentially use those towers for other capabilities, and we allow them to do it, they're going to do it.
Well, of course.
And they're going to keep doing it until we tell them they can't, which is not going to happen because we have a president that's bought and paid for.
See, and I go back and forth between this drone UFO shit, right? Of course I believe in UFOs, but the ones we're seeing. So the CIA guys say, most of them say drone, and then I had a fighter jet pilot in, and he was like, there's no way that that's possible. But I don't think, they're not manned. I think the fighter jet guy that was in, he was looking at it as if he was in it. There's no way that that's sustainable to any type of being.
Sure.
With the G-force and whatever. So, he thought it was UFO. I think it's military. The question is whose is it? Because why now all of a sudden you bring up this UFO shit? The only answer I have is to deflect. You say UFO on TV, you can deflect. To me, it's military, and I don't think it's ours. And that's scary.
I just don't understand how something like that could be built with by another military without us knowing about it. I mean, we have people on the inside the Chinese government, inside the Chinese military that are working for us as well. Like if they were able to come up with that kind of capability on their own and be able to pull that off with the parts and everything that they would need to bring that together and keep that quiet, I just don't understand how something like that would be possible to do. I mean,
but again, I always say
without us being able to figure it out yet either.
But we have egos. They don't have egos like that.
Well,
they'll spend 100 years and not say a word and build that fucker
because they have a freaking gun to their head. That's why.
Regardless of why,
because the government will blow your brains out
if you don't build it and make it work. So
that's it.
They could have crap just like us, but they were able to reverse engineer it. I just don't. Why all of a sudden would you bring this to face? And then when
Trump's the one that set that in action. That whole releasing of the FBI files and all of that.
Which I think he should have. But I think in this scenario, the fact that they're making such a big deal about it, I just don't think it is. And then when I watch the videos, they're saying like, oh, it looks like a fucking lifesaver. And it's the two people in the cockpit. When you call like air traffic control, if you see something going, what is it? What did it go? 30, 60,000 feet in a second?
Yeah.
When you call air traffic control?
Well, I mean, if you're...
In 5 of them, they're just talking in the cockpit. How do you know that thing doesn't have missiles on it?
Yeah.
So to me, they're too calm for it to be something like that. But the one CIA guy that did think maybe it's a UFO, he had thought maybe it was like a B-roll, so like the reaction that really happened was, say, muted, and it's me and you talking as if we're in the plane trying to like calm it down. So then when they release it, it's not like this big, scary situation.
My whole thing with this is this. The government doesn't know better than us, right? So they think they do. They think that they can't tell us that maybe UFOs exist or that they maybe have an alien captured somewhere or something because they feel like they know better than the American public and that they think that we as Americans wouldn't be able to handle it, or the world wouldn't be able to handle it. So not understanding that it's just going to come out, like it's going to be exposed, because people are human, and as long as two humans know, that's two humans more than should know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's going to come out sooner or later.
It's sooner or later, man. So it's just like, this is what we're at. This is what we believe this is. Make your own call and your own judgment on it, because guess what? Maybe there's someone out there that might be able to figure this out.
What do you think? What's your opinion?
I think there's got to be.
No, I mean the ones that we're seeing.
I don't think those are made by humans.
No,
I mean, how can something that's going that fast out in the air, flying that low, then go into the water without a splash?
The water's what fucks me up.
And then goes through the water that fast. There's no, and when you watch that video, it's cruising at a ridiculous speed, maybe beyond sound, I don't remember. But it went into the ocean, just boop, right into the ocean. No explosion, no parts flying all over the damn place, no gigantic, splash of water like something flying that fast and that big would do if it hit the water. It just goes right into the water and keeps going. So what the hell is that?
I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. Part of me thinks it's China. Part of me thinks
But how would they be able to build something with that kind of capability? And you have to test that.
Okay, well...
So you'd have to test it in the water,
right,
which would be seen by satellite imagery.
Maybe.
So where are they going to test something like that without... It's just not... It's not possible with the amount of intelligence that we have. Spies, satellites, just as everybody always talks about the amount of spies that China has here, and they have tons of them, but we have spies there too. You know what I mean? So
but
we would know about it. We would know about it.
I don't think so, because Bob Lazar came out in 1972 and said he was working at S4. They said there wasn't an S4, but there is an S4. They said he came out on all the cable channels in 72 and said, hey, look, I worked at S4. I was trying to reverse engineer a UFO. I think I might have seen an alien, but I don't know. It was very small. I looked at it for a second, but I was working on a UFO trying to reverse engineer it. Okay. And they said, no S4, no S4, no S4.
Of course, because they don't believe that should be known. Right. Because they know better.
Well, 20 years later, now they admit that there's an S4 and the molecule he's working on. So my point is...
So then obviously there's a UFO.
Obviously there is.
He said that
so
he was working on it.
So my point is that China may have it. I'm sure they have UFOs too.
Sure.
And they probably had more than one guy work on it, and maybe they were able to reverse engineer it quietly.
Sure.
Like we tried to reverse engineer shit. And now, what do you do at the time of war? You kind of show a little bit of something that you got, as if they're not going to fucking go into Taiwan.
Yeah, I just...
I mean, I
understand what
you're saying. I hope it's a fucking UFO.
Dude, I understand.
I hope it's a UFO.
But for them to be able to create something like that would be the only way, is that if they had something from out of this world and were able to recreate it somehow, I mean, that would be the only way. There's no other way that they would be able to just create that out of thin air.
Oh, yeah.
Without us at some point getting information on it or finding out about it or something.
Totally agree. I think they got craft, and I think they were able to reverse engineer it. That's what I think.
I mean, then if they have stuff like that, then what are they waiting on? They have the weakest president in the world in office. We have no southern border that doesn't exist.
This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water, it's Fiji water.
This episode is sponsored by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels are dropping substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Low testosterone can have all types of health effects. It can affect your muscle mass, memory, mood, sex drive, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. They're a worldwide leader in at-home testing kits, and their male hormone test lets you easily test your testosterone levels at home. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available to you in your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. These results were reviewed by a clinician, and a member of Let's Get Checked nursing team may call you to review your results. Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which is the highest ranking levels of accreditation. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS. Special offer for MSCS media viewers. Use promo code MSCS at checkout and get 30% off your test. The link is in the description below at the top.
They're getting all of our youth addicted to drugs, fentanyl specifically. That's the number one killer of, I think, 18 to 27-year-olds.
Yeah,
is fentanyl, which is nuts. So there's no southern border. We have a president who literally has business dealings with China. Okay, his crackhead son. Same thing, business dealings with China. That's not, obviously, the Hunter Biden laptop is real.
You heard the phone call. They played the phone call and nothing happened. I don't understand.
It's pretty straightforward.
I don't fucking understand how
so
that
they obviously, China has him by the short and curlies. No doubt about it. They have Hunter too. God knows what videos they have of him doing who knows what to who knows who. Okay, so they have Biden's brothers. They're both two corrupt dudes. You know what I'm saying? So the whole family uses that name to make their way in life, right? So the fact that he still has business dealings with China, his son hasn't relinquished his ownership shares in the Chinese CSC company, so he still owns a piece of a company that is partly owned by the Chinese government.
Our president.
Yeah, so I mean the president's son, which is him,
yeah.
Which is 10% for the big guy.
Right.
So I mean, so they own the office of the presidency. They're working with the cartels, obviously, to get fentanyl from China into Mexico, and then Mexico gets it across the border through mules. People that are carrying it over in their cars, in their trucks, on the trains, in their backpacks, in their freaking buttholes, the whole 9 yards, bro. They're doing it any which way they can. So you have, they literally, I mean, think about this. Every major city has a Chinatown, right? Like
everyone,
man. Those people that have come from China that live in there, there's a lot of, I'm sure, hardworking Americans that are in there, but they're in there teaching China. They have Chinese schools in there. They're teaching them as if they were in China. So like in all these major cities, you have tens of thousands of Chinese people that, who knows, maybe they're ready to act if there's something goes down. I mean,
well, you know how you just said, what are they waiting on then?
Yeah.
I mean, you asked me. I think they're waiting on 2024. And I think that's when they make their move on Taiwan. You got the weakest president ever.
We literally are not, we're buying oil from foreign countries again.
I know.
We're so weak right now. We're completely relying on them. And we're even more so now going to everything electric. We're we're literally sacrificing our lifeblood to have everything made and mined by them.
I'm telling you.
And then when they want to cut it off, they just cut it off, man.
I'm telling you, right before the election, they're going to make their move, because then that puts pressure on Biden, because the people will say, Biden, you got to do something. You got to do something. They've been fighting that fucking war for a gazillion years. Let them fight. Why the fuck do we get involved in it? But he's going to have that pressure. And if you think that China isn't prepared for this, as if they didn't make their own chips already, they don't need Taiwan's chips. Yeah, we help them with their economy, but they don't give a shit. They'll eat ramen noodles for another 50 years to fucking, cut us off. So who's going to hurt more? I mean, us or them?
They make the vast majority of every single thing in our life.
Everything in here is from China. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So you sanction them one time, 2 times, and they cut off trade to us, they're prepared, and they don't mind suffering.
Well, they're building up. They just put together their first port on the east side, or the
west side, I think, right?
East side of Africa, on the Atlantic side.
Oh, I thought.
So they have a legitimate port, Chinese port, on the east coast of Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean, and yeah. So what do you think about that? Like, they're also working on the Panama Canal, too. They also are working with Venezuela and building up his infrastructure down in Venezuela to control that oil.
Dangerous. I'm telling you, he sanctions them and he cuts us off.
They work with Cuba, too.
Because, John, think about this. We're already in inflation's out the ass.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. We're in a depression.
Well, we owe them debt too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All
And we owe them, too.
we have to pay. We're paying them money on debt.
So now we head into 2024, maybe coming out of a depression, in a depression, recession, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Then he sanctions them. They cut us off. We're fucked.
Yeah, man.
Big problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I think they're going to do.
We literally are going away from our gasoline, man. Oil. We're going to go to all electric vehicles.
Should have listened to Trump when he was trying to give incentives to bring everybody back to America, and they were coming.
Yeah.
Because he probably knew that if some weak fuck got in, China's going to make their move. They've been waiting 100 years for a guy like Biden to get in.
Yeah.
And what better time to do it than
they
before
literally
the
control the presidency.
Oh,
they control the office of the presidency.
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, they do.
It's crazy. Crazy.
It's really crazy. And what's crazier is that the media is just blind eye to this, man.
Blind eye. Well, they're probably paid off.
The Hunter Biden laptop.
I can't get over it.
The Hunter Biden laptop. Ashley Biden, her diary.
You got to talk about that later.
It's just his bullet. He's bulletproof.
I want to ask you something
man.
before we get to that. Did you move Barstool, guys, or you're going to move?
I did. I moved
you?
one of them. Yeah, KFC Barstool.
So, congratulations. That's a nice move.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm actually moving him again on September 15th.
What, from New York to here?
New York to New York.
Really?
One place in New York to another.
Why? I thought they were coming up this way.
Not him. Not KFC. KFC is New York. That's his thing. You know, like they have the Barstool Big Cat is Chicago. Then they have KFC is New York. Like, so they have a Philly guy. They have all these major cities that has their own like Barstool dude that like runs that area.
Cool. Can you pull up tab 3? So when somebody wants to schedule with you and everything else, just go right to the website, put in a date. What other high-level people have you moved? I mean, I know the Trumps, right?
Yep. Yeah, we've moved Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle. Do a lot of work for them. Sean Hannity.
Oh, you moved Sean Hannity?
Yeah, moved Sean Hannity.
How's he in person?
He's really good dude, man.
He seems
straight up
cool
guy,
shit.
big, great tipper. Takes care, always trying to take care of the guys.
Old school, right?
Old school as hell, man.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, and you would never know it, but he's a little beast, man.
He got the thing for what the longest going talk show
Cable, yeah.
Cable, right?
Cable news.
He beat everybody, even Carlson.
Yeah, man. He's the king.
Ever since I watched him, probably started watching him 10, 12 years ago, he hasn't aged. I don't know if they put the right makeup on him, but man, that fucker doesn't look like he aged a year.
I know.
When you saw him when you were moving, did he look the same?
Yeah, he looks the same. He was dressed,
Really?
just dressed down like a normal dude.
How old is he?
Shit, he's 60s?
60. He don't look 60.
Maybe.
I think he works out pretty well, though.
He does. He's like some colored belt and jiu-jitsu, maybe a blue belt or something like that. He's
man.
Yeah, he's very serious about that. I moved Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. Oh,
Wayne and
shit.
Janet Gretzky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. They we've done some stuff for another client, big golfer, but not allowed to say his name.
Yeah.
But you can imagine who it was. We've done some for Greg Norman.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, if you're in Jupiter, man, it's just.
I heard Serena she's retiring, right?
Yeah.
One or two, and she's all upset about it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Just pain?
I mean, she's been doing it a long time, man. It's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of training. It's a lot of traveling. At some point, you probably just want to enjoy your money and your life.
And she's jacked.
And just chill. I mean, she's fucking jacked, man.
And before you throw out your fucking arm, you know what I mean? Get the fuck out of there,
dude,
right?
and you don't want to be dealing with like surgeries. You tear an ACL at this point, and you're like, great.
Yeah.
Now I got to deal with this for a freaking year.
And she's hitting that thing so fucking hard. I'm surprised she didn't throw out her shoulder.
I mean, look at the shape she's in.
Freak genetics.
She's just a beast.
Freak of nature is what she is.
She's a beast. I mean, she might be. She could very well be, like people say, the greatest athlete. Period.
She might be. She very well might be. Tennis is fucking no joke.
Yeah. I mean, they're hitting that ball like 120 miles an hour.
And you're going to different countries out of your realm, out of where you're comfortable.
It's very like European.
So here's the website. So if somebody wants to schedule, we just go here.
Boom. I mean, so initially people were getting confused, so we changed up where you can schedule your estimate because we had like a calendar there, and some people, very few, but some thought like they were scheduling their move date. So they would call us and be like, "Hey, why aren't you guys here?" We're like, "What do you? I don't even know who you are." Yeah. You know what I mean? So now it says when you go right to there, You click virtual estimate if you want to do a FaceTime, which is most people. Anyone that's really out of Palm Beach County will just do like a Zoom call or a FaceTime or something like, one of those Google Meets type stuff. And basically you just hit the virtual estimate.
Click on that.
You click on that.
Yep.
And then you pull up the dates and the times that are available. So like if you wanted to do it tomorrow, the 31st, those are the times that are available for you to do an estimate.
Okay, so say he wants to do 2 o'clock.
Yeah, click 2 o'clock.
Click on 2,
Continue. And then you start with providing your information, your name, your email, your phone number, your address, all your contact information and as much information as we can gather about your move. So when you call us to do the estimate, we already know where we're picking your stuff up from, where we're taking your stuff to. Is there stairs? Do you have a piano or a safe or a pool table? Is it a long walk? Does your building require a certificate of insurance? You know what I'm saying? Like all of these different variables that go into to the move, to the price of a move. So basically,
so now, like with the texting, so say you're moving somebody from, let's just say Alaska to Florida.
Yeah.
Will you text them along the way from Alaska to Florida?
They have the driver's number.
Beautiful.
So we give them the driver's number. The driver is the person that packed their stuff up, is the same person that's going to be there on the offload. So they have that person's number. So whenever they want to call and check in with them, they send the driver a text and just check in and say, hey, where you're at or whatever the case may be. It just really depends too on if you're going from point A straight to point B.
Right.
Like if you're not going from point A straight to point B, you're going from point A, and point B is my warehouse because your house is not ready and you need to store for 3 or 4 months. Then you need to go to point C, right? So at that point,
wow, that's pretty cool.
We'll just text you when we get to the warehouse and drop your stuff off. But a lot of people are like, you're doing a move from California to Florida. It usually takes about 4 to 5 days. You know what I mean? We have regulations on how many hours and miles you can travel in a day based from DOT. So, you can check in with us and see where we're at and but we're pretty good about meeting our time windows and getting to you when we say we're going to be there.
Very cool. So if you have a lot of shit you want to move, but not all of it, you guys will store it.
Yeah.
And then grab it on the way. And that affects obviously everything else, but
yeah,
not a lot of companies do that.
No, we pack. We do full packing and unpacking. We'll also clean your house too.
Yeah.
So you get all of your stuff packed by us, then we load it into the truck, and then the house is empty. Now you want to clean it for the next person that's moving in, and then if you want, we can go to the house that you're moving into, clean it before we move the stuff in, move all your stuff in, then unpack everything. And then boom, you're good to go.
Into a fresh,
so you literally don't even have to.
Shit isn't all fucked up. You just
you don't have to do anything. You're ready to rock and roll. I mean, we hang paintings, hang TVs. We do all kinds of stuff within reason.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So now I'm going to hit you with this. So take me through A to Z with this whole Trump raid. Okay. Now, first. What are they saying? That he took classified documents, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
Sure. I mean, that's not what it's all about, but that's what they're saying.
We know what it's all about. What they're saying it's all about. So now they're going back and forth with the lawyers before the raid, blah, 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 blah. Then I guess they didn't get everything that they wanted, and instead of just talking to him like they would anybody else and saying, hey, we need to come back, there's some more shit that we need, blah, 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 they decided to make a publicity stunt.
An unprecedented move.
Right. I mean, who the fuck?
Never happened before in history.
There's just so many, even if he was being an asshole about it and, no, that's mine. You go about, it's the president. You go about it a different way, especially when you're neglecting a lot of other shit that's going on, like the laptop, fucking.
Oh, the list goes on. They wiretapped his home. Like where he lived during the campaign.
And then they dump his phone. And for people that don't know.
That's all. Just that.
Yeah.
And they lied about it. And then, spying on a political opponent. Like,
they dumped his phone.
Literally nothing, yeah.
They
they took his passports and then lied and said they didn't have his passports.
That means they put the thing in and they take everything he ever did out of his phone.
Yeah.
That's fucking over.
But they have technology where they don't even need to pick up your phone. They could just be in the same room as you and screen grab your entire phone. So you could be eating at a restaurant and they're sitting at the table next to you and they literally just ripping your entire phone.
Yeah, they could have went about it a different way.
Oh, well, I mean, this is how you could have went about it. Sir, if he's, you first ask for the items. This is a list of items.
They did do that. The
Okay.
lawyers were going back and forth, and
Right.
he felt
And then
that
all
some
of a
of
sudden-
the shit was his.
Then all of a sudden a gun crew shows up.
Yeah, like why not just call
SEAL
him in?
Team 6 shows up ready to do what exactly?
I don't know why you just don't call him in
retrieve
to the White
documents?
House or whatever with his lawyers to say, look, this is what we need, and if you don't give it to us, then we're going to show up. That would have been the right thing to do.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the president of the United States.
So if the lawyers are going back and forth fighting, lawyers say, no, it's ours. No, it's ours. You call them in and you say, hey, look, if you don't give it to us, we're going to fucking raid you. We're telling you now. That would have been the right thing to do.
Think about the librarian, the national archivist or whatever the hell his name is. I don't remember what his name is. And you shouldn't know his name, okay, because he's a freaking librarian, all right? Like, no one should know this guy's name. But this guy is wielding power and authority, enough authority to get the FBI to raid former president, a potential future president of the United States, raid his home while he's not there and not allow the lawyers to watch anything happen, then lie about and say that they didn't take his passport when they did, and then they had to return the passport. So it's just like, I just don't understand why you can't say, hey, we need this stuff back. Okay, we're going to get it to you. 2 weeks goes by. Hey, we didn't get that stuff, Mr. President. We really need it. So we're going to give you another 2 weeks to get it back to us. So that 2 weeks goes by. I'm sorry, we didn't get it. Okay, Mr. President. So listen, I hate to, basically be a dick here, but you have 1 week to get these items to us, or unfortunately we will have no other choice but then to send people from the FBI to come and retrieve these items. So if you want to avoid that, then we're going to need this entire list of things. We're going to need that stuff. So could you please, pretty please, with a fucking cherry on top, get those to us?
Because we really don't want to do this.
We don't want to do it at all.
But we're going to have to do it. So you have 1 week, sir.
Correct.
That would have been fair.
I mean, and we've given you an entire month. You could have got, but that's not what they wanted to do.
And who
obviously.
the fuck raids somebody when nobody's there? We're talking about a piece of paper. Like the fucking
Well,
paper
they
isn't
knew.
going to be there when he gets back.
They knew he wasn't going to be there, obviously, because they said that they had somebody on the inside at Mar-a-Lago that told them, basically his entire itinerary where he's going to be when he was going to be there.
So his own people are fucking him too.
Yeah, someone that's the word on the street, that there was
sure.
a rat inside there that was
I'm sure.
feeding them information. So they kind of already knew what was in the room and where it was. And besides the point, like, they're the one that told him to put an additional lock on that. So they knew the room it was in. They told him to put an additional secondary lock on it, which he did, right? So I don't understand how it goes from us telling you that we know this is here and we're okay with it, so much so that we're going to tell you to put another lock on it, and if you do that, then you're good for now. And then it goes from that to the
boom.
A SWAT team, an FBI SWAT team, is literally coming through their home and going through their closets and through their safe and tossing their house. How does it go from telling you to put another lock on there?
1 to 100, right?
It's just insane.
Now, do you blame the FBI? Because the FBI gets the orders, right?
Yeah.
So they're just doing their job technically. So do you blame? I mean, if you're in the FBI, what do you say? No, sir, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But you got a family and kids.
I understand that, but there's policies and procedures that you have to go through when you work for the government. If there's something that someone's doing that you morally believe is wrong, then you need to take that up the chain. There's a
chain of command.
A chain of command that you need to go through, and you run that up the chain of command. Sir, I will not participate in this because I believe it to be unmoral or unfair or whatever your issue is with it, and you run that up the flagpole, man. That's the way.
I didn't know you could do that.
That's the way.
I thought once they tell you to go, you're an FBI guy, you got it.
No, but
this is the target. You got to go.
Of course, that's the environment that is created in that world is mission first, right? Like, what? I don't give a shit what your feelings are on this. We have a job. We need to do it. But it gets to a point to where when do you? Next thing you know, you're just telling people to get on rail cars.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's where it goes. Like at some point, men have to be men and have to say, there's just no damn way I'm being part of this. Do whatever you need to do to me, but this is not right. Okay.
Well, I can tell you this from just some of my friends with experience. You cannot, I know for a fact, you cannot write a search warrant that broad. You have to say, we're going to search the basement, we're going to search the master bedroom, we're going to search the living room and the garage.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say, search the house for this piece of paper. You can't do that. You have to specify where you're going to go. Now, with anybody else, you take that to any judge, it gets thrown out immediately. With Trump, who knows what the fuck.
I mean, it's Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer was the judge, so
it's a legal search and seizure for sure.
Well, I mean,
you can't do that.
He had
forget about fucking him. Forget about political. Let's just say he's average Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
The search warrant's illegal. You can't just walk into somebody's house and tear apart the whole entire house on a non-violent, non-drug case. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't do it. So his lawyers are filing those motions. Again, anybody else on this planet thrown out in 2 seconds. Him, he'll probably have to take it to the Supreme Court. How do you see it playing?
Well, he's got to get a special master. I feel they're going to appoint a special master.
They filed for that, right?
Yeah, and it looks like the judge is leaning in the direction of appointing a special master.
I'm kind of fucking surprised at that, right? Because isn't the judge completely against him?
Well, it's a different judge in West Palm Beach that is the yes or no on the special master. It's not the same judge that approved the search warrant. It's a different judge. It's a female. I don't know what her political affiliations are, but it appears, according to what she's already said, that it looks like they will appoint a special master, which the FBI obviously does not want, right? They don't want that. So they're trying to say that they have what's called a filter team. The FBI has a filter team. And what the filter team does is they work for the Department of Justice, and they're supposed to be people that go through all of the documents and filter out the documents that they believe the FBI shouldn't have access to or shouldn't be able to read, like attorney client privilege documents. So what the FBI is saying is, we don't need a special master. We already have basically a special master, which is our filter team.
I was supposed to trust that?
So this is what Trump's lawyers are saying is, so let me get this straight. We're supposed to trust the filter team that works for the Department of Justice. Like, we're supposed to believe that. Of course not. So that's why the judge looks like is leaning towards appointing a special master. And if they do that, then it'll be someone like a former federal judge or somebody like that's retired that will look at all of the evidence and look at everything and then make a determination to the real judge. And then based off of this special master's opinion or whatever on it, then the magistrate judge will make a determination, like a final determination. That's how I believe it to be. But I mean, it's beyond crazy that they raided this guy's house.
Crazy.
I mean, it's just insane. It is, and I hate to spew Republican conservative talking points. Like, they say it's a banana republic, but I mean, I don't really know how else to explain it. I mean, that's honestly, what it's like.
Honestly, even if let's just say the roles were reversed and it was fucking Obama. Still, you don't fucking raid him like that. You fucking call him in. You talk to him and you warn him and you say, if, like you just said, if you don't hand it over in a week, we're coming.
Yeah, I mean,
whether it's Obama, Biden, whatever, you just don't fucking do that.
I mean, do we really have to go down the Hillary Clinton bleach bit, smashing
I'm
phones?
Just saying, regardless,
you
don't do that. But then nothing happens to them. It's fucking crazy.
But nothing happens to them, but they want to make something happen to him. And then how is you're telling me the FBI is on the up and up, but then how do all these newspapers get information?
They have
they get it from people in the FBI. So then obviously that the FBI has leaks. Because the New York Times and the Washington Post get stories from the FBI. So that's not on the up and up. If it was on the up and up, no one would know shit about anything.
Well, did you see that they have about 13 whistleblowers?
Yes.
That want to come. They haven't come out yet.
Yes.
I hope they come out, but they have 13 legitimate whistleblowers.
If you have a leaker too, like to the New York Times or Washington Post, then you're not on the up and up, bro. You can't get a straight shot out of the FBI because there are people leaking information to newspapers. So what do you think those people are doing that for? For political gain. So you have people working for your FBI, for the FBI, that are corrupt, who are corrupted that are like literally leaking information with the sole purpose of destroying American being Donald Trump, and don't forget like his family, destroying their reputation, destroying their life. It has not stopped since this dude came down the escalator, man.
Yeah.
Like they were wiretapping Trump Tower.
I know.
Like think about that. Nothing happened there. The fake Russia hoax. There's complete makeup story. Completely and totally made up, 100% made up.
And
the Hunter Biden laptop.
what's the guy's name that was?
There's election fraud, bro.
Who was the guy that was? I don't keep. I'm going brain dead. The guy that investigated Mueller.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I know him.
Yeah. Bob Mueller.
3 of my friends, he gave 20 years and he set them the fuck up. I know for sure they didn't do what he said they did, but when he was a U.S. attorney in New York, he was dead set on getting 3 of my friends, and he made it all up. And he went to people to get them to testify. He went to jailbirds. He did whatever he could to get my 3 friends locked up, and he did, and he got them 20 years. And he got Lance, I forget his last name. He was part of J.P. Morgan. And Jamie Dimon, there was a whole murder case with that whole situation, and Jamie went to the feds before Lance did. And Jamie went and said, oh, Lance did this, A, B, C, D, E. Mueller took the case, gave him fucking 30 years. He got out. He just got out maybe 7 years ago on a,
Yeah. Time served.
No, Mueller fucked up on the paperwork. But it took forever to find it, or whatever it may be. So he's as dirty as can be. So my point is if there was one thing he did with Russia, one thing he could make up that he did with Russia, believe me, I know for a fact, I've seen it in person, he would put whatever he could that he thought he could get away with. And he couldn't even get anything. And he wasted 3.5 years and how much money?
Millions.
Millions.
Over 20 million.
You mean billions?
Yeah,
probably billions the way this guy fucking spends. For nothing.
Literally, absolutely nothing.
For nothing.
I mean, they got nothing. And then the phone call to Ukraine. Remember that?
Yeah, that whole bullshit.
I mean, you can listen to the phone call. I don't understand. Like, if you listen to that, what?
Yeah, they were making such a big deal.
You need to look into Hunter Biden's dealings with. I don't know. I don't understand. Why would you not ask him to do that?
So, how do you see, in your opinion, how do you see this whole raid thing turning out? Do you think they end up indicting him?
Yeah.
And you think they're going to actually indict him?
Yeah. I mean, why would you go through all of this if you weren't going to, if that's not the goal, man? Because this is, like I said, it's unprecedented. So for them to pull the trigger on this, they had to have known that they were going to indict him, that it was a 100% certainty, because if they don't, then it's a complete backfire on their part. And it just further invigorates the base to in the anti-FBI rhetoric, right? It just strengthens that, because here they are raiding a former president and potential future president's home, and they got nothing.
But he's got monster lawyers, and that's right.
They know that already, though. They know that ahead of time.
But you can't.
They know that.
Maybe in the lower courts you could do something, but when it gets up to these, upper courts, even if the judge is left, paid the search warrant's illegal as fuck.
Yeah. So what Trump needs to do is he needs to sue the FBI field office in West Palm Beach.
I think he is.
The director of the FBI field office in West Palm Beach. And I think the reason why he needs to sue that guy in that office specifically is because all the other people are out of D.C. So if he goes after suing like Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, then he has to have his court case held or heard in D.C. Excuse me.
And that's where you would want it to be heard.
You
right?
do not want it to be heard in
D.C.
D.C.
You want it to be heard here.
You want it to be heard in West, because this way at least you have a shot at getting a freaking normal judge.
Yeah.
A potentially a conservative leaning judge that can hear your case. If you have any cases heard in Washington, D.C., and you're a conservative, you're screwed.
I don't think they'll indict him.
Look what they just did to Hillary Clinton's lawyer. Like the Sussman, they had everything on this guy, but his case was heard in Washington, D.C. I mean, half the jury that was there were Clinton donors, and he's off. Nothing.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you can't get a fair trial in Washington, D.C., so he can't sue all these people to bring them under oath to testify about what's really going on and why they're raiding his house, because these people are all based out of D.C. So my opinion is that if I were them, I would try to go after, because the FBI field office in West Palm Beach is the one that executed the raid So I would go after them. So at least this way you can bring those agents and that FBI field office director under oath in West Palm Beach, and you have a judge that will, hopefully is a conservative-leaning judge and will do the right thing, meaning shake this tree, like see what falls out.
I think they're just going to look at the search warrant and it's going to get tossed. I don't think they're going to indict them. I don't think they fucked up so bad on that search warrant.
I hope that's what happens. Obviously, I want that to happen. I just don't understand how, if you're the FBI, that you can do this without knowing for certain that you're going to get an indictment.
Well,
I don't understand why in the world, if you even thought for a second that this wouldn't turn into an indictment, why you would pull the trigger on it.
Just to get the papers and make them look bad.
But it doesn't make them look bad. It makes them look better.
But in their mind, it makes them look bad. Like he's hiding shit. Like he stole stuff he shouldn't have stole. That's how they're trying to make him look.
I understand that.
And like a big...
but he's able to declassay items.
Yeah,
he's the president.
He could do whatever he wants.
So, he says that he declassified all those documents anyway. So... They knew that. Like, they knew that he could do that. So that's my thing, is just like there's no way that they can be that inept to do something unprecedented, never been done in the history of this country, and not know for certain that they were going to get an indictment. They were going to have a silver bullet.
This is my prediction. It's probably a horrible one, but I don't think he gets indicted. And I think the way they kosher it, they'll indict one of the FBI agents. They'll indict somebody that was a part of this to make it kosher. Like, oh, that guy fucked up. That it wasn't us. It wasn't the Biden team. It wasn't that guy fucked up. That shouldn't have been done. We should have talked to him, because they're filing a lot of strong motions already. And I just don't think they're going to indict him.
What's his the Justice Department, the head of the Justice Department? What's his name? The whatever, retard. He thinks that his shit doesn't stink, but he's like a Fauci, this guy. But God, his name is right on my tongue.
Can you Google that? What is it? The Attorney General.
Yeah,
the DOJ
Garland,
right now.
Merrick Garland.
Oh, I forget. All right,
so so he said that he's the one that executed. So he's ultimately the one that signed off on this raid going down. So it's on him. It was, what I'm saying. And then the FBI, and then obviously you have the White House said that they weren't involved at all. They knew nothing about this, and now it comes out that they did know about it.
All 4 CIA guys that I had in that were at the top said that anything that happens, you go into the White House and you have to talk to the president.
If you're moving on the president, the former president of the United States, didn't know. Dude. Come on, bro. Come on.
I mean, it's laughable.
They think that we are that dumb to believe that the FBI would raid the president's personal home, and they would not at least give President Biden a heads up, like, "Hey, sir, you're my boss. You are my boss.
You're gonna get a lot of questions.
I just
tomorrow.
want to let you know that we're gonna be raiding. We're gonna be raiding Donald Trump's house.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Come on, God.
Maybe they didn't.
It's painful. You don't understand. It's fucking painful to just listen to this shit and know they're so full of shit.
He's gonna beat it.
God.
He's gonna beat it.
So
this is what happens. Ready?
Shit.
The person who executed that warrant is gonna resign, and they're just gonna get whatever they have, their papers.
They just had the one dude resign.
The one guy just resigned
for the Facebook thing,
right? And then what's going to happen is, and then they're going to make it. They're going to blow it over like, okay, this guy fucked up. He resigned, even though they're still going to give him full pension, 401k. And hey, buddy, just resign, and we'll still give you your 120 a year. But just resign to make us look good. I'm telling you, because they can't indict him, because if he takes it to the Supreme Court, whatever you think of the Supreme Court right now, they do have some integrity still. And the warrant's not legal. That's where it starts. And right there alone is fucking illegal. You can't have it. If you want to rewrite it and fucking search them again, okay. But that is an illegal search warrant, and it gets tossed.
I mean, listen.
Even if it's Donald Trump.
Trump's got the best lawyers, man.
He's going to beat it.
So, I mean.
You think he runs?
Then I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the Teflon Don. He's the real Teflon Don.
You think
because nothing sticks to the
you think Pence will run?
No, I mean against Trump. If Trump comes out and says that he's running, Pence would be.
He's gonna go dig a hole.
Yeah, I mean, he would be crazy to run against.
Do you
Donald
think
Trump.
DeSantis would?
Against Trump? No.
Yeah.
No. Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense for the Republican Party.
Right. So who would run with him?
Run like to primary
Yeah.
President Trump? I could see someone like Ted Cruz coming
Ted
out
Cruz.
again.
Maybe Marco Rubio. He's having a tough time as it is.
The former governor, what's his name? He always likes to run, the former governor of Arkansas, but he's a big supporter of. He's a big Trump supporter, so I don't think that Mike Huckabee, like he is always in the mix.
Huckabee's
running.
I wish Kennedy would run. I love that motherfucker. Kennedy from where's he from? He's East
from Louisiana.
Oh, he cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers out here. You know what he really wants to say. He gets on it. These son of bitches, you don't understand these motherfuckers. Can you imagine just sitting fucking sitting with him at a bar and listening to him go off?
He always sounds like he's got a couple of scotches in him, too.
He probably does, all the shit that's going on.
He does. I mean, I don't blame him. You get the freaking guy in office, man.
Now, who runs for them?
If they want to win?
Michelle, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to secure that office, then you have to go, you have to go Michelle Obama. Joe Biden's not beating Donald Trump.
I don't even know if he's going to.
Kamala Harris is not beating Donald Trump.
They don't even want Kamala Harris. They're not going to. They don't even want her.
Biden filed for re-election today.
I heard. But
so he's running again, obviously. So I don't think they're going to send anybody out there to take him down, unless somehow over the next 2 years or whatever he resigns or has to step down for health reasons or something. But the problem is that they don't have anybody to walk. Newsom, I heard, Gavin Newsom. I mean, but how could you run for president in California is what you run on.
The only way that they win is the cheating shit, like the 2,000 mules. I know you saw that, right?
Of course,
that was crazy.
Crazy. It's beyond crazy.
Anyone listening, whether you're left, right, in the middle, it doesn't matter. Watch 2,000 Mules.
You have to.
Wow.
You
have to go to Twitter to get it. You can email me.
2000mules.com too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely have to watch it. Once you watch that, it's clear as days. And then one of the things they were saying is like, well, the tracking that they used is not like 100% accurate. I'm like, man, get the hell out of here. I can leave my phone at a table in the food court of a mall and then walk away and then go to my iPhone tracker and literally track that thing right back to the same table.
Bro, they have Walmart cameras with guys going 3-4 times a day with 7 envelopes. Opening, put it in. Opening, put it in. The same guy, the same girl. Did you see
in front of that library? The camera is watching the lady just dumping the freaking votes, dumping them in every day on camera, shooting right down at the ballot box.
And what those guys say? They have like 1 million hours? Like some massive amount of hours.
And they even made it to where it was like very conservative on the amount of people that they added to the dots. If you watch 2,000 Mules, you know what I'm talking about. The dots. They were like super conservative about the amount of people. They're like broke it down to be like, this person went to these 3 places. This is the place where they picked up the ballots. Then they went to these 2 ballot boxes and they did this 4 times. We're only using people that have done that.
Right.
Have gone to this place where we know the ballots are and have gone to multiple ballot boxes. We're only going to use those. And it was still tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, they didn't
if we break it down to where this person just goes from the ballot place, which is an NGO, a non-governmental organization, and goes to only 1 ballot box, then it's like hundreds of thousands of people. So it's just beyond crazy, man. And then the whole Hunter Biden laptop and Facebook coming out now and saying that they suppressed that. That right there, that's election fraud.
Yeah.
That is election fraud. That if they would have treated that as such and they had no reason to believe it wasn't real, okay, if they would have treated it as if this is real, as far as we know, no one from the White House, including Hunter Biden, is saying it's not real. Because if it wasn't real, then the president or the soon-to-be president and Hunter Biden would have come out from Jump Street and said, this is absolutely not mine. I have no idea whose this is. This is Russian disinformation. But they had other people come out and say that.
Right.
They never came out. If it wasn't Hunter Biden's laptop, he would have came out and said, it is 100% not my laptop. I will swear under oath. I will take a lie detector test. It's not mine. Period. End of story. And it would have put the whole thing to bed. But nobody denied it. And when you don't
one
deny
real
it,
quick thing about
then you know it's
2,000
true.
Mules. No matter what side you're on, it's not a political.
No.
It's not a political movie. It's just facts.
They just lay the case out.
They just lay the case out. They're not, far right this, right that, this, Republican. It's just, look, this is what happened, and here's the proof. So
Dinesh D'Souza, I mean, he is a conservative. He's a conservative. He's on the right, obviously.
But the film
is not. It's just the facts.
It really is.
And when you watch it, it's hard to say, man, this didn't happen. It's just, it happened, man.
For me, I knew it was happening in Pennsylvania like crazy. Like, remember I told you, I said, it's fucking crazy out there. But after watching that, wow. I mean, it's just...
And they barely tapped into it. And then, and you were right in it when you told me that before the 2,000 Mules came out, and you said Philly was heavy on it.
Yeah.
Philly was the largest one on 2,000 Mules for the most people.
I told you, man.
You did. He did tell me. There was that camera right there.
Yeah.
You did tell me before any of this that Philly, it was going on hard in Philly.
Hardcore.
Yes, they were stealing the vote 100%. And you were not lying. And turns out Philly was, in fact, like the most egregious of all the locations for voter fraud.
Yeah, you got to watch that, Ike. I need to. And with Zuckerberg, I didn't like him. But after watching him on Rogan, I like the guy. And, you can say whatever you want. Yeah, look, he runs a massive company. He already got fucking caught in there and sat there with his cup of water for 8 hours. The FBI comes to him. They say, hey, Russia's putting a dump. Twitter just took it all off. They just banned people.
I mean, they're Zuckerberg's a communist, and so is Twitter. They're commies too. Zuckerberg, I would say, I'm going to need a little bit more than just your word on this.
But he's not going to do that.
But then that's it. That's what you have to. But you have to do that.
I understand.
You can't just ban. It's a presidential election, man.
I understand.
Show me this is not his.
I'm just trying to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. If the FBI comes to him and says, "Hey, look, we have good evidence that there's going to be a Russian dump," and he suppresses it, you can still post it, you can still share it. All right, give the guy a break. Twitter, on the other hand, they won't let you post it, share it, nothing. Twitter, they should fucking go after 100% and bury him.
But what you're also doing right now is you're believing what he's telling you.
True.
I don't believe a single fucking thing this guy says.
Based on what he says.
They're all full of shit.
Right. And it will probably come out.
Listen, man, you can look at his body language. If you've ever studied body language at all, you can look at his body language. Once Joe asked him that, he is completely stumped, doesn't know what to do, and is in full panic mode, and comes up with that story. And he's obviously a very smart guy, and he was able to think quickly on his feet and come up with a somewhat politically as polished of an answer as he could on the spot, right then and there. What he's telling you is not the truth.
I disagree with you, because when
he knew,
but when he asked,
they
him,
knew
John,
it was real, bro.
When he asked him, he said, "Hey, the FBI came to me." But then when he said, "Well, what did they say to you?" That's when he started to get nervous and start. Well, then he started to dance. But originally, when he was asked off guard, he was like, "Yeah, the FBI came and said they were going to do a dump, blah, blah, blah." And then Rogan was like, "Well, what exactly did they say?" Then he started dancing around.
Yeah, because they told him that, he knew that entire time that laptop was real. I guarantee you the FBI told him that it was real. He donated somewhat like $300 million, okay, to PACs and to Joe Biden's campaign.
Oh, really?
And obviously suppressed, you can't just forget about the Hunter Biden laptop. Any story that was pro-Trump was suppressed on Facebook. Okay, so the laptop is just that's people having their blinders on, because that's the flashy object, okay? There were a million great stories about Donald Trump that were not pumped into your or my news feed or anybody else's damn news feed for that matter. They only show you what they want you to see, and that is it, okay?
Trying to give the guy the benefit of that, because I think they should be going after fucking Twitter first.
They should go after all of them. They should go after all of them. The fact that these people know every single thing about your life, like what time you like to eat at night, what snacks you get. They're listening to your phone when you're talking. You literally are talking about one thing, and then you look at your feed and you're getting an ad for it. Like, fuck these people, man. Like, did you ask for that when you signed up for this Facebook app 30 years ago? It was like about people from college, like finding each other and talking about, and then it exploded into like this whole social network of everything. But now they're literally listening to you talk in your home, okay? So they can give you ads that they believe are best catered to what's in your brain already. Think about how far that's gone. Like from what it was to what it is now. It's like a full-scale invasion of your life. Yeah. It's what it is, bro. They know what you're typing. They're tracked. They know every single thing about you. About your medical information's in your phone.
You're the one
your
who
blood
brought it
pressure.
to my attention. It didn't come to my. I was an idiot until you said it. Because we were talking about iPhone, and you were like, "Yo, the parts are made in China, bro.
Everything.
We just put it together here."
Yeah.
And I know that it says that, but it never rang a bell. What do you think? They're not putting a tracker and a little fucking chip in there to tap everything? Not for us, not to work, me and you. More so, I think, to build robots.
Bro, Steve Jobs wasn't on that assembly line. He wasn't building those phones in China. He wasn't in those workshops.
Hell no.
If China wanted to put something in every one of those phones, the only way I guess maybe that they would find out is when you sold the phone or return it or get it repaired and you were able to find it. But they could build that technology into the phone where someone couldn't.
Steve Jobs is around. This whole game is different.
Yeah.
He would not be allowing that.
I mean, that. The thing is, man, is just the Chinese have a stranglehold on everything.
Everything.
They have Hollywood.
Yeah.
They have sports players.
Everything.
They literally have everything. They control they make all our solar panels. They produce all of our electronics. They produce like 70 to 80% of all our antibiotics are made in China.
Yep, all the pharmaceuticals. It just goes on and on.
It's just
about everything.
And I mean, it's literally about every.
That's why
thing.
I'm really concerned about. I think they're going to do it right before the election. Do you?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like,
I mean, it would be the perfect timing, right?
If you're going to do it, you're going to do it while this guy's the president, man.
And what better time to do it than right before
our military's never been weaker.
Never.
We have a less patriotic, less smart, less financially secure military than we've ever had. Less healthy military than we've ever had. And the reason why I say these things is because we have the youth of America are overweight. Okay, the majority of the people, when I was an Army recruiter, 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012, the majority of the kids I talked to were disqualified. 7 out of 10 kids I talked to who tried to join the Army were disqualified for some way, shape, or form, meaning couldn't have passed the ASVAB test, they were overweight, they've been arrested, they were on ADD or ADHD medications, they had a surgery of some kind when they were a kid, they're too tall, they're too short. They had some kind of a minor birth defect somewhere. They had an extra toe, or they freaking, you know what I mean? Like, if tattoos, they had a neck tat or a face tat.
You're not allowed to have tattoos?
You are, but only in certain areas and only of certain things. So, you know what I mean? There's a list of things, of tattoos that you can't have, and then there's places that you can't have them, and that changes. And sometimes they'll, when they're recruiting less people, then they lower the standards. So that's what I'm saying when we're having a dumber military going forward, is because now what the Army has just done is they've only achieved 40% of the mission, or 50% probably now, and their mission ends in October. That's their fiscal year is October to October for the military, right? So their recruiting mission ends in October. Last month they were at 40% of the mission achieved. So we're now about to be in September. So September, October. So they have half the mission achieved with only 2 months to go.
And when you say half the mission, you mean half the people they usually have?
Yeah. So they set a number of people that their goal to put in the Army is this many people, and they're at half their goal with only 2 recruiting months left. So, and the main reasons for that are the vaccine mandate. So you're eliminating so many people from being able to join the military because they won't get the vaccine. The kids are overweight, severely overweight, 50, 60 pounds overweight. And so what they're doing now, and almost every kid's on some kind of medication for ADD or ADHD, so they can't join for that. So what happens when the military can't meet their recruiting goals, they lower standards. So you need a 31 on your ASVAB to get into the Army, right? And with a 31, you're going to have about 3 or 4 jobs that you can choose from to join, right?
What was it before?
So it's always been 31. So now they just lowered it to, if you score between a 21 and a 30, what the Army will do is they will ship you to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, which is a basic training post, okay? And you will be put into an ASVAB prep class for up to 90 days where Army instructors will, you will study with these instructors, and you will take the ASVAB test over multiple times over the course of those 90 days until you pass it. And then once you pass it,
fill that 40%, right?
yeah. So they're now
It's not good to lower like that.
I mean, so now they're putting in people that literally
Not qualified.
they're not qualified otherwise, right? So now they lowered the standards. But think about this. So the taxpayers are now paying for up to 90 days. We're going to feed people, house people, any medical or dental work that they need while they're studying. They're going to get that too for free, obviously. Now, what happens to the people that just can't pass the ASVAB? 90 days goes by, they've taken the test 10 times, they just can't. They kick them out.
Did you notice that?
But these kids got new teeth now.
Did you notice that they were letting more people pass through the Marines than usual?
Yes, they're actually giving out bonuses as well.
Oh,
They're
there you go.
giving out crazy bonuses,
Yeah.
reserves. They even talked to me about it.
Yeah.
There's the DAP program. It's a $25,000 bonus
To do what?
to just stay in because the Marine Corps is hurting for bodies right now.
Yeah.
Are they letting people pass that
They
really
actually
shouldn't pass?
they actually changed. I don't know the details of the BCP standards, but they did change a little bit.
To make them easier?
I think it's to lighten up. So
In the Marines?
So I have friends that are still Army recruiters currently. They're still in the Army and they're running stations. They're running Army recruiting centers.
Yeah.
So they're the boss of this center. So they're sending me articles and sending me information, basically, bitching to me about like how bad it is.
Jeez.
And because they know that if I have the opportunity to speak out about it, I will. And I have on multiple television shows come out and spoke about
It's fucking social media and
first-hand
stupid
experience
fucking
about
shows.
being a recruiter, man. Like, we are in a bad way. So where people are getting out, okay, because of the vaccine mandate. So there are thousands of medical or religious exemptions that are pending currently,
Right,
that
so
are
they're-
about to get approved or not approved, because the vast majority of them are not going to get approved. So all of those people are going to have to exit the military. We're talking thousands of people, right? That are pending right now. They're just on hold, waiting for their exemption to get a yay or a nay. So those people are going to be out. So now we're losing those people, and we're not putting more people in, the amount of people that we need to maintain a healthy fighting force. So
Meanwhile, China, Russia,
Oh, forget
the
it.
whole fucking line's watching all this happen.
yeah, and not only that, but we're
They're
recruiting. We're
definitely going in
we're
right
we're
before the
targeting the wokeness of people now. We're making commercials about talking a girl talking about a story about how she had 2 moms growing up, as if anybody gives a shit whether you had 2 dads, 2 moms, a mom and her dad. Who cares? Can you do this job that the Army that you signed up for and said you could do and went to training for? That's all we care about. I don't give a crap if you had 2 dads, dude. Can you fix this tank? Yes or no? Like, that's all that should matter, but they don't make it about that. They make it about this woke nonsense. So they spend millions of taxpayer dollars on commercials, literally making commercials that are going to go on TV to target the smallest minority of people, which is the LGBTQ community. They're literally targeting that small, minute community of people to recruit from, instead of taking those millions of dollars and making a commercial to target the broad spectrum of the majority of people that actually join, right? So, like, they're spending their wrong money on advertising in the wrong places. They're making it harder for you to join because of the vaccine mandate, that everyone knows that the vaccine doesn't work and doesn't do anything. They're still carrying on with this lie and the charade as if it does.
Well, you saw all the shit that they did with Aaron Rodgers.
Of course.
This episode is sponsored by Rourke. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. Yet despite this, those who have had their identity stolen are often shocked when it happens. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all into one easy-to-use app. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Protect you and your family from America's fastest-growing crime. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if you or anyone in your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial today. Go to aurora.com/MSCS. The link is in the description below. This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy.
Of course.
Fuck, he won. So he went through the vaccination hemopathic way. So when they asked him,
he's immunized.
Are you vaccinated? He said, I'm immunized, however you say that word. So they're like, okay, so they let him play. But the whole fucking team knew he wasn't. They even gave him a wristband. He had to practice alone. Yeah. He couldn't, like, if the team traveled, he had to stay and get tested every fucking day.
Oh, what a joke that is.
He refused to get it.
For this baloney.
Then when they realized that he didn't get the vaccine, it's a big shit show that he lied, but and he said multiple times, if they would have asked me a follow-up question, I would have said, well, I did it the hemopathic way, but they never asked me a follow-up question.
Correct.
So then they buried him with the fucking vaccine bullshit, had to practice alone, couldn't travel. But the funny thing is, when they got to the playoffs, all of a sudden, no more testing every day. You can travel with the team. Yeah. You can practice with the team when the playoffs come. And then, he was talking about it, and they were like, so they give all you guys perks? And he's like, yeah, all the fucking time. All the time they give us perks. But you have to get a vaccine.
Of course.
That is proven to really fuck you up. Like,
of course, the people are dying from
like the guy that made it.
Myocarditis.
I got Malone coming in here.
Yeah, I know.
But like the guy who made it says, don't take it.
Yeah. Under any circumstances. And he said, for a child, do you recommend the mRNA vaccine for a child? Under no circumstances should you give this vaccine to a child.
The guy who made it.
I mean, that's all.
Hello.
Just that guy. I mean, who else do you need to talk to? You know who you should talk to? President Biden. He'll tell you. That guy. That's the guy that you should talk to about vaccine, because maybe, you know what? I got another guy you should talk to.
Not the guy that made it, right?
No. You should talk to Bill Gates.
Oh.
That is the guy that he definitely knows. You should talk to him.
Oh.
That's like, when we're in the Army or in the military, they call the people barracks lawyers or shithouse lawyers. Like, there's always a barracks lawyer. Like, there's always some dude in the barracks that knows about law. Like, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? That's, fucking this barracks lawyer told me I'm not going to get in trouble for the shit that I, whatever it is, whatever shit privates get themselves tested positive for something, or, and they're always got this guy in the barracks. So, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like the guy that created mRNA, right? And then they try to discredit him and act like he didn't create it. Like, he did, right? So, like, he did. He called that dude out on national television on Fox News. And shut that guy up in a second. I was watching it live.
Yeah, he was
destroyed him. I haven't even seen that guy on Fox News since.
Nah, he's in the bedroom.
So
because Malone was just sitting there letting him talk, and he was like, okay. And then I forget what he said.
He said, "My name is on the patent. Does that mean that I made it?"
No. He said, okay, my name is on 120 some patents, and that's one of them.
Yeah,
I think I know what I'm talking about. But he said it in a more firm way. But he just fucking put that guy in a hole.
He did. He buried him. But that guy wants you to believe him over
the guy who made it.
Yes,
the guy fucking made it.
He literally is going to sit across from this dude and discredit the guy who made it. And who the fuck is this guy? And who are you? What have you made?
And again, we've talked about this before. Guys like Malone don't leave the lab.
No,
the only reason the only reason he's coming here and he went there and he went wherever he went on Fox was because
Rogan,
because he makes vaccines and they're not giving him the right information. So as a professional, he can't do his job. So he thinks maybe If I go make this public, maybe I can get the right fucking information so I can make quality vaccines. So what does he do? Out of all places, where does he go? Japan. To do what? Make another one the right way where they do the right case studies.
Yeah. You know what's crazy right now is that they're flipping this vaccine onto Trump.
I know.
It's just when you, man, like listen, man, I love politics, right? So I'm always trying to think of what's the next thing that they're going to do. Like,
but it wasn't Trump. It was Fauci and the CDC.
bro, they're trying to now
they
say
said they have a vaccine.
that he
said,
rushed them to
Yeah,
make
he
the
did.
vaccine, and they made it wrong.
But-
Was that what you're saying? Like
but
they didn't make it right?
But John, he did rush them, but that doesn't mean that Pfizer does their own case studies. That doesn't mean that Moderna does their own case studies. It means that you rush it, but you still have a third party do the fucking case studies.
Bro, come on.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You
come
rush
on.
it. How is Trump supposed to know right at the beginning when the guy who's making
All
it
right.
didn't even know until he was making it
Yeah.
that the case studies were bullshit?
Yes.
So how the fuck, if the guy making it didn't know for a year or however long,
Yeah.
how the fuck does Trump know? He doesn't know shit about
Okay,
that.
so tell me this, and I riddle me this, everyone. So, if Trump, when he was the president, did nothing, and I mean nothing, no masks, no stand 6 feet apart, no vaccines, and they didn't even attempt to make a vaccine, said we're just going to ride this thing out, go on about your lives as you normally would, fight it like you would fight a cold, right? Like, what do you think the backlash of that would have been, right? So the government, because as much as I hate it, the majority of the people live in this country, they need the government, okay? Like, they look to the government for the answers to their lives, right? So when this happened, people are obviously scared, and for good reason, because people are dying, right? And it's coming from China, and it's a bat, and, based off of like Ebola and other diseases or viruses, whatever the case may be, that have happened, you have cause for concern. You have grandparents, you have people that are not healthy, that are overweight, right? All of these people that have secondary issues or whatever the case may be, they're all like very worried that they're gonna die, right? Because no one knows anything in the first days of the pandemic. So the people look to the government answer. Government, how are you gonna keep me healthy? How are you gonna prevent me from dying from this disease? So the government has to do something. And the first thing they did was, well, we're going to go to masks because that's an easy thing to do real quick, even though we know that they don't work. They have to be professionally fit. It's an N95, and even N95 can't capture the particles that come through. If I'm wearing a mask and I can smell a fart, that the mask doesn't work. Like, everyone, they knew that, but they made you wear them anyway, because if they didn't come out with masks, what were they doing? What was the government's answer to stop people from dying? If the masks didn't exist, what was the next thing that they were going to do to at least try to do something, right?
Yeah.
So they had to do something, and the initial thing was the masks, right? And then it's, all right, well, what do we need to do? Obviously, it's a disease. It's killing people. We need to come up with a vaccine. We have no choice, because in the beginning stages, they're thinking this could
Nobody knew anything.
wipe out millions of people, right?
And they were getting wrong information.
And they're getting wrong information from bureaucrats like Fauci, who says he's a scientist. He's a government bureaucrat.
It almost makes me believe population control is fucking real.
Well, I mean, bro, like I say, and I say this all the time, they're okay with aborting 39-week fetuses. So they're okay with anything. And you have to think in that mindset. You have to, when you think about a hardened liberal, like, you have to think like their mind thinks that is okay to do that. Okay, so what could be worse than that? Like, there's nothing else. That's the end of the spectrum. Like, that's the furthest left, right? Like, there's no going out past that. Like, tearing a baby apart piece by piece with a pair of clamps.
Fucking crazy.
So they'll do that and then sell the parts, sell them. And then there's people on video in restaurants having a wine spritzer talking about selling a baby heart or a liver.
I told you, Basil was in here, CIA guy. He was on the blacklist, and he said $1 million a kid.
So there you go.
All day, every day.
Right? So that's my point, is there's nothing that they won't do. There's no lengths. There's no bounds. There's just they will do anything to keep power, man. Anything or anyone, one being the former president, potentially future president. They just raided this dude's personal home.
Yeah.
Like, think about that, man. So there's nothing. Anything goes at this point. Like, the judge the judge that approved this, the magistrate.
Wasn't she a Trump hater?
No, it's a dude.
It's or him.
And it's hard to say this. It's even hard to believe it. Like, that guy was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer.
Not good.
So, and he's the magistrate that approved the raid on Trump. He also recused himself from a Trump lawsuit that Trump is suing, I believe, Hillary Clinton or the Clinton campaign, or
Somebody.
Trump is suing somebody, and he recused himself from that, but doesn't recuse himself from this.
Of course not.
He just happens to, think about this, of all of the judges that exist, of all of them,
It just happens to be, right?
Jeffrey Epstein's person, like his lawyer,
And
a
again,
convicted pedophile,
and again, seriously,
literally had an
I like
island
Trump, and I just
where they
want
rape children.
what's best for the country, and this is definitely not best for the country. This is
Bro,
so
come
fucked
on.
percentage that Michelle runs, and then we'll get on to where you just came back from. Just give me a percentage.
I think it's 0.
0?
Yeah, I
What do you
think.
What percentage do you think that Michelle Obama runs?
If Biden's running, then 0. If he stays in a real.
No, I mean if Trump runs.
Oh, that Trump runs?
Yeah, they might have to put her in.
I just think that I think that they're beyond that. I think they love the life that they have, being rich. Because remember, they weren't rich before.
Prior, right?
They are living
And think what
that
he,
life,
yeah.
bro. No kids in the house. I think their kids are grown and gone. Yeah. Bro, they are so rich and have so much power and influence. Why in the world would you want to go back into the White House to deal with all of that shit again? Like,
That's bro. Other than cheating, that's the only person I think that could beat him. I think she would beat him.
I don't know.
If they don't cheat, then I don't.
I just don't know anybody else that I can think of.
That's the only one I could think of that
you
has
could
a
run
shot.
out there that could beat
Only one
Trump
without cheating.
She's the only one that could put up a fight.
Yeah,
Honestly.
but they'll probably cheat anyway.
Yeah,
They'll come out with the China thing will happen in some type of fucking pandemic, whether it's fucking smallpox or whatever Stone says, whatever the fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just typical politics and people, like think about the gas prices are down magically before an election.
magically, right?
It's so weird how the gas prices always seem to fall before an election.
Isn't that
when the
funny?
Democrats seem to be like losing grip on power and they're in control, and then all of a sudden, like, the gas prices magically, they're freaking $5 a gallon now. So when the gas prices are going up, it's Putin's fault, but when the gas prices are coming down, it's the government is doing a good job.
Yeah. Right.
Think about like how far away removed from the actual real leadership that is.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're 100%.
Like you don't take you don't take responsibility for the bad. You take responsibility for the good only.
And right by election time, all of a sudden now we're paying off student loans. That comes out to $10,000, I think. I just saw.
And $20,000 in Pell Grants.
And what the fuck is that going to do?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's buying young people's votes.
Buying people's young votes and costing us money. It's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
gonna pay off
I
the loan.
have a high school diploma. My wife has a high school diploma. So I work my ass off.
Yeah.
So I have to pay taxes
Ridiculous.
now to pay for Ukraine border security and people's college debt.
Yep.
I joined the Army to help pay for college. Hey, what about all of the people that I put in? Their main reason for joining the military was for the college money.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally sacrificed years, some of them injured, some of them will never be the same, saw things, did things that no human being should be forced to do. Some of them lost limbs, some of them lost their minds, or both. So they joined because they wanted to go to college and they couldn't afford it.
For that reason.
So now they get out and they're using the GI Bill or the post 9/11 GI Bill to go to college, and then they're just like, oh, hey, man, we're just going to give you that. And they would make it 100% free if they could. There's just no way that they would be able to pull that off right now. But think about...
Like you said, right around election time.
Oh, I mean, of course.
Now to give a background on you,
Of course.
if people didn't see the other episodes, just give a little background about how you went to Baltimore, you went to Texas, and then we'll get into where you just came back from.
Yeah, so I own Blueline Moving. It's a moving company that I used to be a mover for way back in the day. I joined the Army, retired from the Army, and I bought Blueline Moving from the owner I used to be a mover for, and he was a police officer, and that's what Blueline is for. So I was able to work something out with him, bought the company, and then, every year what my company does is we do a cleanup in a different city around the United States. So in 2019, we did Easterwood District of Baltimore, which is like inner city Baltimore. We picked up 26 tons of trash in 3 days. We worked with a company called Maggio Environmental. It's a garbage company out of New York, out of Long Island. They drove a garbage truck from Long Island to Baltimore, 26-yard, big rig, big deal garbage truck, man. And we went we had a 20-block radius. I worked with the local government in Baltimore. I basically said, give me the worst area of Baltimore for illegal dumping calls. That most people are calling saying, there's illegal dumping happening here. So they got me a 20-square block radius on a map, and I worked out and negotiated with them for them to be able to pick the trash up and for us to be able to dump it or us pick the trash up and us be able to dump it at the landfill for free. And then for us to be able to keep our garbage truck in their yard overnight. And they said yes to that. And so we drove up. This was during the time when Trump was calling Baltimore a rat-infested shithole.
Yeah, you did that, and that's all in the last episode. Then you went to Texas. You cleaned that up. That was a fucking mess. The first one had overdoses. The second one, you're picking up people out of the lake and all kinds
of the river,
of
out of the Rio Grande.
All kinds of nutty-ass shit.
Yep.
Now you go back again, and you went to Arizona, right?
No, this time I went to Eagle Pass, Texas. So
I thought you were going to go to Arizona.
We were going to go to Arizona.
And you switched it up.
Yeah, I really wanted to stick to actual border towns that are right on the border. So I was working with Pinal County, Arizona, which is like 60 miles off the border.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. And last time, tell the story how you got a hold of Tucker Carlson and got on the show.
Oh, yeah.
You spent time to find his number, text it. Say that story again, because it's really funny.
So for, people I know, they call me the grind father. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that grind doesn't stop with me. I'm like a detective. So I did that cleanup.
Did you hear this, CK? Did you hear this? Oh boy, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, so I did the cleanup in Del Rio, and we work with the local sheriff's department. We raise money and we donate money directly to the sheriff's department, and then we go there and we clean up a ton of trash. So we went to Del Rio last year, and as you remember, all those Haitians were living under the bridge in Del Rio. Like when we were there, it was like 1,200 people living underneath that bridge. And we just happened to be doing a cleanup underneath that bridge. So that bridge is a federal property underneath the bridge. So it's like the Rio, like a half a mile of land with, trees, and then the road, the wall, and then the road.
No, but how you got a hold of Tucker?
So I did that cleanup, and I get home from the cleanup, and obviously the cleanup was nuts. So I'm sitting on my couch watching Tucker, and he's leading the show with the Del Rio Bridge. And I'm sitting on my couch like, bro, I got to get this information to Tucker Carlson. So, I'm reach out through his social media. I'm trying to track down any email address I can. Any way I can get to him is tuckercarlson.com. I'm going on LinkedIn trying to find people that work on his show that are producers and messaging them through LinkedIn.
Nowhere.
I can't get anywhere. So I'm like, I have this background search app that I use for employees. And I'm like, you know what? Let me run his name and just see if something comes back. So I plugged his name into there, and voila, Tucker Carlson pops up, and there's his cell phone. So I text the cell phone.
Now, at this point, are you thinking that's actually his phone number?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, because I've done this before, and it worked.
It's a good system. Yeah. Okay.
So like I said,
Enough said.
I'm the grind father. This is what I do.
All right,
like when
father.
I want to get a hold of famous, rich people, I hit him with the old 1-2 skidoo, the
AJ,
old
you might
background
lose
check.
your job.
I hit him with the old background check, and I called him straight up. Like I FaceTime Tom Cruise.
Really?
What up from a barbershop?
Oh shit! I finally just watched the last one that he.
Oh, the Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah. Really
So
good, fucking great movie.
So I find Tucker's number, and I just start going in with the text messages. I start sending him pictures and video from the border. Just outrageous video and pictures that only you could get if you were there, right? Like they just had like drone shots. And then you remember the FAA came out and made it a no-fly zone, so they had to drop their drone. Then they got with the Texas DPS, and they got up in helicopters, and they're like flying over the Rio and like zooming in. Like it was Bro,
Crazy.
the FAA made them drop their drones. They declared it a temporary no-fly zone. Think about how nuts that is, bro. And that's all because I just happened to be underneath that bridge cleaning. And I showed the dude that operates the drone footage from my phone because we got kicked out of there at 3 o'clock. Border Patrol's like, all right, that's enough recording from you guys. You got to go. So we left at 3 and went to the day before's cleanup to that location. We're like, dude, it doesn't get dark until 10 o'clock in Texas. We can't go to the hotel now. It's freaking 3 o'clock. We're ready to work. So we go back to day one's cleanup spot, and there's Fox News flying a drone over the Rio.
Oh, shit.
And we're like, hey, what's up, guys? And they thought we were like police. We're like, hey, who you with? And we're like, I'm with Blueline Moving, bro. Get with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, Blueline Moving? What are you talking about? I'm like, I told him, my company does a cleanup. We're just here cleaning up. We were here yesterday. We actually pulled people out of the Rio. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I know this is a hot spot, but you guys just happen to be cleaning? I'm like, yeah. And the next thing you know is we're pulling people out of the water.
And then how many texts to Tucker until he replied?
Probably, I think I sent him like maybe 10 or 12 pictures and videos with a couple of texts mixed in. So I texted him and he eventually responded back to me. But
and then when we responded back, how long from then until you were on the show?
2 or 3 days.
Oh, so he went quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the story
It was like
it was losing steam a little bit. So
so on this one, okay, so now you decide you're going to go to Texas, not Arizona. All right, you get everybody ready.
Yeah.
You get there. Take me how you roll up, park everything. Tell me how this one went.
So I'm doing the actual cleanup gets done next month. So I go before the cleanup happens. I go the month before, and I meet with the sheriff of the county, and I meet with like the local garbage company or the local government that might handle garbage. And I kind of say, this is who I am. This is what we do. Take me around and tell me a little bit about Eagle Pass. Tell me, show me the hot spots on the border where the majority of the garbage is located. So they're more than happy to do that. So I get in one of their vehicles. I go out with one of their deputies, and the deputies basically take me around to the hot spots where illegal crossings are happening the most. And that's where all the garbage is, they're crossing the river, and they have a garbage bag full of dry clothes. They cross the river, their clothes are wet. They drop their wet clothes. They put their dry clothes on, they throw the garbage bag, and they keep walking. So that's why in my videos and my pictures, you'll see just huge areas of the Rio, of the coastline there, just covered in clothes, bro. Book bags, shoes, sneakers,
I remember
diapers.
the last one. Was
Bro,
crazy.
outrageous.
Now, when you show up there, are they like, Blueline Moving? What the hell are you doing here? Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Are you crazy to do it? Like, are
Yeah.
they like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, they don't. They're happy that I'm crazy.
There to help, but
Yeah,
they're like,
they just are like, I don't understand why you're coming here. I'm like,
right.
like, why don't you not a cleanup in like where you're from? I'm like, because where I'm from, people have money. They don't need me cleaning up there. Okay, this is the kind of place that needs help. Like
now, compared to last time to this time, I know this is like the pre-thing that you do.
Yeah.
But still, you can see what the hell is going on.
Bro, it was so bad I was in the New York Post because of it, and I haven't even done the cleanup yet.
I saw how much worse this time than last time, like percentage-wise.
So I didn't.
And
see
you haven't even dug into it. You just scoped it, basically, right?
I just went there and scoped it out. So I haven't even done the cleanup yet. The cleanup will take place on September 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Which we're going to get into all that.
Correct.
And how people can help out.
Thi-
So if you compare when you scoped it out last time
Yeah.
versus this scope out, explain to me the difference in the scope.
So
and then we'll
this-
show some pictures.
This time I found a dead body,
Wow.
so there's a difference.
Okay. Well, the last ones, you just had a narc and saved from drowning.
Yeah.
This time they're dead.
This guy was dead. He drowned, and we came across his body. And then just as we're coming across this dude who just drowned literally in this spot, I see people crossing with a baby, 2-year-old, and they had a baby in a backpack, and they were trying to cross in the same spot that this dude just didn't make it because the undercurrent's so strong and there's a lot of rocks. So they don't realize this undercurrent, man. There's holes. So when you're walking, you might go into a hole and that undercurrent boom, and these people are apparently not great swimmers, and they get washed away. And they literally, the day after I left, they pulled a 3-year-old and a 2-month-old out of right where I was.
Wow.
The sheriff's deputy that took me around he told me, he called me and he was just like, bad day in Maverick County. I have to tell you what happened. And then he told me that this just happened. I literally was just there yesterday. But it's way worse in Eagle Pass this time than it was this time last year when I went to Del Rio. When I went to Del Rio,
tab 5, EK, tab 5. Go ahead, and we'll go through some. We'll go through some of it, and you can explain it. Keep going.
So when I went through Del Rio, it was eye-opening because it was my first time to the border. So to see people just coming to the wall was just like, holy cow, right? I didn't know anything about this bridge, right? So that when I did the cleanup was different though. So I just saw people coming to the wall. So that was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's just shocking to see so many people from so many different places around the world coming here.
So like right here, what's going on here?
So this is actually under the bridge. This is where the people were living. So this is what you all seen. So this right here, all right, so this clip is I'm pulling out of Eagle Pass. I'm literally heading to the airport, driving down the road right there where that guy on the bicycle is in the background, driving to the airport. I see like 20 people walking down the sidewalk into Eagle Pass. And they all got like clear bags, yellow envelopes, so they're illegal. So I just could not believe it.
But
so I pulled my
like it's nothing, right?
like, bro, just walking down the sidewalk like, hey, we're here, 20 people from freaking from Venezuela. So I pull into the middle of the road and I roll the window and I'm like, where are you from? I'm Venezuela. And I'm live now because I went live to show everybody. And I'm like, I got to turn around. So I turned around and I pulled into the gas station.
Can you believe that shit?
And this is them walking up to me.
Do you speak English?
This guy right there was I see that guy. If you rewind it real quick, you can see that he doesn't want his face to be shown, and he has a full sleeve tattoo. He kept trying to like get behind me, and I thought he was going to try and rob me. So you'll see me dip out here in a little bit.
How many days? 2 days. 2 days from Venezuela to here?
No, de Venezuela para acá nos duramos 49 días.
How many days? You speak English?
49 days.
14?
So it took him 14 days.
No, he's saying 41. The other dude's saying 31. Watch.
How bad is it in Venezuela? How bad? Venezuela. Walk the whole way.
30 días. Walking.
Gotcha. How bad is it? Bad. Venezuela. No food?
No food, no. Mucha violencia.
Maduro? Is dictator? No good?
Look how happy he is.
Venezuela is very happy.
Yeah? And the reason why you want to come to America is for a better life?
Claro.
Looking for work?
Life and family.
Your family here?
Bro, but that's not why you come here, man. I'm sorry.
Where are you?
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. That's not a good enough reason for you to come across the border illegally because you want more work and a better life. Like, I understand that, but there's ways you have to go about this. This isn't just a free for all in this country.
One
you just say,
example.
I want to go there, so I just go there, and then that's it. Like, that's not how
my
it
barber
works.
for 6 years. He's been trying to get his father over. So him and his brother every day, barber, you get cash tips. They saved all their cash.
Yeah.
And they finally 3 weeks, this is a 6-year thing that they've been doing.
Yeah.
Finally, about 2 months ago, he comes to my house to cut my hair. He's my friend.
Yeah.
And he came over with his dad from Colombia.
Oh, cool.
Or Cuba, I'm sorry, Cuba. But the right way.
Yeah.
They spent 5-6 years saving up. He was able to come over, I think, for a month. Then he has to go back, do something, and then he can come back again.
Sure.
And that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
2 Cubans worked their ass off together, took all the overtime they could. And when they had enough money, they brought their father over the right way.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it should be.
No, that's the way it should be, man. That's what the law's on the book. Do it by the letter of the law, man. So that one guy gets behind me and he's bad. He's bad.
Gentleman here, I don't know from Fox or where he's from.
What's this, news people?
Yeah, they're flying a drone over these people that are trying to cross with the baby in a backpack.
What the fuck?
So they're trying to get video of these people crossing. The Border Patrol came up on an airboat, and they couldn't get to them because it was too shallow and there's too many rocks. So you'll see there's people right over there that are trying to cross.
So these guys walked through all this shit for 41 days.
My phone literally said over.
Yeah. It's so hot my phone just said overheat and shut off.
And they're in the
Shut off. That's how hot
I
it
guess
is.
lake or whatever you want to
That's
call
Rio
it.
Grande. That's the Rio Grande River.
Wow. And you see all them back there on the way back?
Yeah, they're all the way in the back. They're on the
here.
Mexico side right now. They have a baby in their arms,
Jeez.
and they're you could hear the airboat in the background.
And the crazy thing is the way that they're surviving that 41 walk is the cartel.
Yeah, I mean they're getting.
They got stand, they got vending stands. They're like a fucking carnival.
Got my
Yeah,
battery
man.
too
They're-
much.
How are you gonna fight a $1 billion
I'll
fearful
be back when Border Patrol gets here.
group
You can
that the government
see
is
it
working with?
live in action.
How you gonna beat them?
Yeah, I mean they got the backing of China too,
I mean,
man.
can you? I mean, I don't know if you can. And then here they're just
See, that's
walking
them
right,
right there,
on the side of the
right on the
fucking
side of the
road.
road, man. That's where I was talking about. Like there they go.
Fucking unbelievable.
Watch, you'll
Look.
see.
I was
You
literally
see
heading
this
to
shit?
the
Look,
airport.
there's all the way down the road.
There's 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 people.
Jeez.
What is going on in this country?
I can't believe it, bro. I'm in shock right there. There's that many people.
That's all.
I'm like
That's just every day.
every day, bro. Coming in nonstop.
There's at least 50 people.
This is the airport in Del Rio. There are more people in this airport flying to Dallas that are illegal than legal people, and that's including employees.
are from this country.
So they're able
Every
to just,
single person in that picture is illegally here, and they're all have plane tickets in their hand, and they're all flying to wherever they want.
Who's giving them the plane ticket?
The government.
The government's giving them a plane ticket?
They have no ID. They're getting onto flights with
How?
no ID.
So they're just
they have a
wa-
legal document from the Border Patrol or Homeland Security or whatever. They present the document to the person at TSA, and they're able to get in. They have their
Don't they have
their
like a
tickets.
supposable court date they have to show up to?
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna show.
And they're allowed to fly?
The government flies them wherever they want,
Are you hearing this?
That's insane.
wherever they want, bro.
I didn't
They
know
get to
were-
Dallas,
a cell
they're-
phone wasn't enough?
bro. They're going to Dallas, and then from Dallas, it's like who's going to Miami, who's going to New York, who's going to LA, who's going to
Oh,
Houston?
so they're like a plane ticket. Where would you like to go,
Yes.
sir? Ma'am?
Yes,
Holy fuck.
yes, on our dime.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's so nice of American Airlines to
Is
to
that-
allow that. To
Oh, is that
have
who
their
that
I
is?
mean, you're flying on American
Why
Airlines.
with them again?
I mean, they're going to take that money from the government.
Wait,
That's what they're going to
Say
do.
that again. The government is giving illegal immigrants,
Illegal immigrants.
fucking plane tickets and asking them where they'd like to go.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That is
So when you get to
mind-blowing.
when you
bro.
get across the border, when they open the gate and allow you in, they literally, I have video on here, them unlocking the gate, opening it up, letting you in, and closing the gate. Then you go to the Border Patrol station.
And that you see right here.
Every single person there is illegal. And that lady on the scooter, that is a scooter that she got, taxpayer-funded scooter.
Oh,
They
gave
all
her-
have cell phones that they're charging in the walls.
All over the place.
All of them. Every person in here is illegal.
So they gave her that.
Yeah,
was
that
probably
scooter, and
5,
she's
10
going to get
grand.
on the plane with it. He's charging his new cell phone. See, they all have the clear bags. That guy's obviously not illegal, but everybody else is. All of those people.
All these people
Let's
here
see
are
the
like-
yellow envelope.
So what, in that bag
Speak
is
no English.
they got the cell phone in their bags.
They got everything in the bag. I mean, they're all there. Look, yellow envelope. There she is.
Helping them
Oh,
get on, get
fucking
their
unbelievable.
tickets.
They have NGO people from NGOs that like help them get their tickets scanned, get on the flight. Look, both of those women are illegal. She's illegal. See, all of them. Cell
you're li-
phones.
If you're listening to this, John is at the
First class.
Del Rio Airport.
Del Rio Airport. We're seeing gates 1 and 2, and these people are just walking up, getting airplane tickets.
Yeah, look, here we are. Now we're behind. We're went through TSA. Now we're about to board the flight.
Wow.
I went back behind. All of the illegals are sitting on this side of the airport, with the exception of like 4 because there's no more room.
They got fucking Nikes on.
All of those people are from Venezuela, Cuba.
Are they giving
wherever.
them shoes too?
Yeah, I mean,
How do you walk 41 days and have nice white shoes at the bottom?
yeah, Nikes.
Are they giving them? They're giving them all that shit.
No, I mean they get whatever they want. The cop at the airport, his wife is a nurse at the hospital there, and said that they're putting pacemakers in illegals, dentures, at the hospital. Full medical care.
Why don't they just give them a facelift and some Botox too?
Hey man, they give them whatever they want. So there's those people crossing again.
Just swam across. One of them.
What, they swam?
Yeah, one of them made it across. The other go back to Mexico because it's too risky with the child. He comes across. He's talking to the Border Patrol agent right there that's on an airboat in the brush.
And what's the Border Patrol agent saying?
The Border Patrol agent's telling him to go back.
Jeez.
So he comes across.
Is this the rest of his
Yeah,
family? Or
they
just
no,
people?
they were just friends, he said.
I guess you go 41 days, you kind of.
But all these people wind up at the same spots. They don't even know each other. They just act like they do.
Wow.
Most of them are coming from other countries where they had residency already. Coming from Chile. They've been living in Chile for 6 years.
When you told me that they're coming from Chile to Miami, I was like, wow.
Yeah, they go from Chile. They've been living in Chile for 5-6 years, and now they know that Biden's in office and it's time to come in.
And what the hell is this here? Same shit?
Yeah, fast forward a little.
They're going.
Let's go to a different area.
What about this?
There you go.
Oh,
What do we
man.
do about this situation?
Wow, that's way worse than
Just
last
leave
time.
it here?
If you're listening to this, there's
Right?
trash where you
Just leave
can't
it.
even walk.
It's no big deal.
It's
just
literally,
United
you
States
can't
of
see the
America.
ground.
What is
Just our
that?
land.
It's all
Ground.
clothes, backpacks,
Clothes.
shoes,
But no one
pants,
cares
shirts.
about this area.
But we're drinking out of paper straws, bro.
Wow. And again, if you're listening to this, you can't even walk. There's so much trash.
We're driving coal-fired Teslas because we're saving the world.
There's
well, we got-
so
but
much
this is
trash.
actually-
You can't even see the dirt, John.
Bro, you can't see the dirt. Not only that, that's what the Rio looks like too, man. That's in the water too. So one freaking sea turtle gets a straw in his nose, and we're drinking out of paper straws. But look at this, bro.
Yeah,
No
paper-
one, not a word, bro.
I fucking hate paper straw.
I mean, come on, man.
You
what are we
can't.
doing
Wait,
here?
what does it last? 3
What are we
seconds?
doing, bro? We're putting paper in water? Like, that's what we're doing?
That's a smart idea. That's,
I mean,
that's a genius fucking idea.
I mean, but then look at this.
Who's the
Look what we
genius?
do here. Then no one cares about this part of America, right? No one cares about this place.
No.
It's beautiful too. If you go there and you remove this stuff, the Rio is great. I would love to own a house on the Rio if it was, not a third world country, but it is.
How hot is it there right now?
105,
Oh, my God.
maybe 100, close pushing 110
And that
with the
just
heat
shows
index.
you how powerful that fucking cartel is.
I mean, my phone would just turn off.
Because of the heat.
Temperature,
yeah.
it'd say high temperature it was overheating.
I mean, it is so much. Wow, that filth is just crazy.
It just goes on and on and on. There's just tunnels after tunnels all going down to the Rio, and it's just never ending. I mean, you can look, you keep fast forwarding.
Yeah, man,
These are all different areas.
And here's more.
Coming up through here.
And if you're listening, John's now kind of out of, I guess, the
Into a different area.
valley or whatever valley of shit,
Yeah.
and just more diapers,
Close.
Carlson.
Started finding IDs, legal documents.
Unbelievable. Look at all that shit.
Yeah, man, they just throw it everywhere,
Yeah,
man.
this is way
a
worse
landfill.
than last time.
Oh yeah, it's not even close.
What's going on here?
This is the Rio. This is when I first got here. Look, there's another spot.
What the fuck? They're just trashing that.
Car chases through the roof in these towns, chasing people at 120 miles an hour through these small towns. Dogs everywhere.
Oh, they're bringing their dogs with
Bro,
them?
they just got wild dogs, just random, just
Look at
dogs
all
everywhere,
this
bro.
Trash, man.
I guess might as well have a friend when you walk, right?
Holy
Oh yeah,
crap.
just wild dogs all over the damn place.
Wow.
That's how it was in Iraq too, man. Just dogs running all over the damn place.
And you were saying before we started the podcast that they were putting fentanyl on some of this shit where you had to be real careful what you touched and didn't touch.
You do. I mean,
this is
there.
Joe
I
Biden
would.
America. This is what's going on.
A lot of the
When
book
you
bags
talk
and
to the
stuff
sheriff-
that you see on the ground, I'm sure a lot of them had drugs in them at some point.
And didn't somebody there touch it and got sick or something had
It
happened?
happens all the time. There was a person that touched a shopping cart handle and overdosed.
Wow.
So I mean, there's numerous
Who,
cops that have
before
overdosed.
becoming
from
the
something.
sheriff,
There's
did
dogs.
26 years with the Border Patrol.
Yeah, the
When
sheriff.
You talk to him, and now he's the sheriff of Maverick County, and he tells you never in his entire career has he ever seen anything like this. That's telling you something, man.
So the sheriff
So
of
all I
Maverick
can tell
County
you folks
was
is
26 years
government
was a
is
border
lying
patrol
to you.
agent, and now he's the
Okay?
sheriff.
They're telling you there's no
And he's
problem
like,
here.
I've never even seen it
There's
close
major
to this
problem
bad.
here.
How
This is
stressed
an
does he
absolute
look?
Oh, he's-
catastrophe.
forget it.
Okay?
He's
literally
overworked,
waved the white
stretched
flag.
thin.
The
Their
federal
budget's
government.
blown.
They've completely
Towns overrun.
Now
Food
what's
banks
this here?
overrun.
Is this the fence that was attempted to be built?
No,
Wall,
yes,
whatever?
surrendered the border
it is.
to the cartels and to the people that are trying to cross. And we're talking
I mean, this
full
is
bags
just a
of clothes
mess.
here, man.
Wow. I mean, again, if
Just
you're
an
listening to this,
endless-
everything you can imagine is
endless
just
amount
fucking
of
on the
work.
ground.
And it's like 8:45 right now at night there.
Where are
Look
the
how sunny it is.
environmentalists?
Oh wow.
Where are the conservationists?
Where
Where
are
are they?
They ain't there.
I can tell you what,
they? Nobody gives
I
a
haven't
shit.
seen a single one of them here.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single
You
one
seem
of
to
them
be the
last
only
year.
one out there, right?
I
And I'm a
Every single-
conservative, and I apparently hate the environment, but here I just go around picking up other people's garbage.
Jeez. Cowboy hats.
I mean, bro, you name it, it's out there, bro.
You could start an eBay store with all this shit.
I mean, the
Really?
Guys,
Good.
nothing to see here. Right?
it's gently used border clothes. You know the
Right across this
then you have
river
these
here.
NGOs and these whack leftist liberals
In our government.
that literally go
Real
through the
leadership.
desert areas and put like water bottles in areas and put like food in boxes and leave it along the trails for like people to find. You know what I'm saying?
This because they got the barbed wire here.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that gonna do? That's not even high.
Yeah, that's just to funnel people into a certain area.
So now, where are you headed right here?
We're heading to an area, and this right now is like 9:45 at night.
Still kind of.
We're heading to a spot where the National Guard said it's just beyond. There's a National Guard. So this spot is just like there's so much trash you're not going to believe it. So we went over to the spot, and there was just a ridiculous amount of garbage.
Sure.
And again, you're the only one out there. You got some National Guard, I guess, but
Yeah, and the police that I'm with. That's it.
how many officers did you see working and so on and so forth? Or are they really?
So National Guard is posted
Thanks,
up. Look at all
Kamala.
that.
Kamala, whatever the hell your name is.
They have.
The people of Maverick County
They love
very
that.
happy about this.
Yeah. They have Border Patrol agents. Then you have Texas State
But there's
Police.
nothing going on at the border, right, guys?
Then you have the local
This is totally
Maverick
fine.
County sheriffs. Then you have Eagle Pass Police. You know what I'm saying? So you have like all kinds of different agencies interacting. Homeland Security,
The
Border
government.
Patrol. Like, I mean, it's just nuts.
And they're all completely understaffed, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was the first cleanup underneath that bridge. I mean, this is how kids were living. Well, look, I mean, there you go. This is the United States of America.
Now they're in the U.S.
Yep. United States of America. Look how many people are living underneath this bridge. We're just picking up trash. So we left because we felt so bad for the kids, and we went and bought candy and toys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not their fault.
And we were passing out candy to the kids and passing out, footballs and soccer balls, and because they were literally just playing with dirt and rocks.
And they're just living under that bridge, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
In the United States of America, man.
It's just unbelievable. So much worse than last time. Last time you
This guy, Mexican government beat him.
So,
This is where the people
coming
literally,
down
so
from the Mexican
you'll see the
side.
coyote come down the mountain,
just
and then
guy on horseback.
the mules like walk these
See
people
if these
across the
people
Rio,
can
and then we
cross.
pull them out.
And what's a coyote?
The coyotes like
See 'em?
work for the cartel. They're the ones that get people across the border.
And we're gonna see him right here.
Yeah, you're seeing he's on horseback. There's 3 of them. I'm gonna zoom in here in a
Oh, I
second.
see him. Yep.
You're lucky you made it out of there.
Watch.
So we are back at our original spot, and
Now, can you guys, even though we can't see it, can you guys see him right
Yeah.
now?
Oh yeah.
a bunch of people that look like they're getting ready to cross. He's kind of shuffling people
I zoom in here some.
Where are they? Oh, there's a guy on horseback.
Yep.
Where is he?
Can't zoom in right now for some
Back
reason.
there?
Yeah. Right. Yep. He's right back in there. I'm trying to zoom in. I'm like hitting my phone right now. You can see it. And it's
You're
like,
trying to hit it.
but not zooming in. I'm like, come on. You see me slap? There,
There
you
you
go.
go.
You see that dude on horseback? Watch.
Where
I'm
is
gonna
it, bro?
pan left, right.
Tell me when to
There he is
pause.
on
Right there.
horseback.
Oh, up there.
That's him right there. Boop.
Holy shit. So that's
Watch.
the cartel right there.
That's the cartel.
Okay.
You're
so,
gonna watch him direct these people across the river.
Okay. So if you're listening right now, the cartel is coming down. What would you call that? A mountain? Or
Yeah.
A fucking.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't
mountain.
know. That's a mountain? Okay. Holy shit.
Here they come. These people are about to cross.
I would assume
Right there.
he's.
There they are right there.
I would assume the cartel guy.
See the guy on,
loaded up,
on
right?
horseback?
Yeah.
That's the coyote. Escorting them down.
Like there's the coyote, and
Mhm.
he's
They come.
escorting them down.
So there's
This
2 guys in
is,
red and green shirt that are escorting 3 people.
There he is.
Once they get to the American side of the Rio, they turn
Get
back
Eric.
and head
Run
back
and
to
go get
Mexico.
So what do you think the odds are that one of those people have fentanyl, or some type of drug?
They
Um,
are crossing the southern border.
those particular people, since we pulled them out, I don't think they were carrying anything. But they, so this is how it works. Like if you can't afford to pay the cartel take
and
you
the red shirt are
to
going
take
back
you
and
across,
forth,
then
so
you pay them by
just
taking
seen it
drugs
live.
across.
And what do they charge to get you across? I think last time I heard 15,000.
Yeah, it
Is
just
that still accurate?
it's between 15 and 20,000. And what you become is indentured servitude. So they know who your family are and where you're from and who you are and where you're going, and you owe them and you have to pay them back.
And if you don't do what they want, then they're going to kill your whole family. And
Yeah.
they make sure that you are very aware that they know everything
That they can
about
find you in America too.
Yeah.
So you are that's it. You're a
That is
slave.
crazy.
Yeah,
See, so you see the other two guys turn back around.
Yep. They're like,
And then
we're
there's-
out of
They're
here.
heading back to Mexico.
Gentleman that just helped them. Yeah, they just helped them across.
Now, would it be illegal
Here they come.
for
About to
one of
come
our
up in
officers
front
to
of us.
fire at that cartel guy?
Yeah.
It would be?
Yeah, you're firing into a sovereign nation.
Knowing he's fucking with the cartel?
Nothing you can do.
Because he's in another country.
Yeah.
That little line right there separates it.
Yeah.
Holy
That Rio.
shit.
So,
So
unless
that
he
Rio's
fired
the
at you,
only separation.
yeah,
I didn't know that. Wow.
it's a natural border.
Guess I should have paid more attention in fucking
Trying to-
whatever class that was.
There we go. There you go. Folks, we're about to see this live in
Wow.
living color.
Well,
See up there?
Never saw a coyote before.
Is that the...
I just pulled him in. Just missed it. Rewind a little bit.
Go back. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, they're dying. What you got? Fucking.
They're older. He's young.
One.
Now, how far do they
Where
walk?
you from?
Venezuela.
Look,
Venezuela?
Venezuela. Look at it.
Oh, wow. How long have you traveled for? How long? 3 months?
he can barely stand up.
4 days.
4 days? Take a seat, man.
Does that green thing on his wrist mean anything, or that's just something he has?
No, yeah, that means they
From
paid.
Venezuela?
Oh, they paid.
That's from the cartel. Green bracelets means that you know what gang they're, Sinaloa or whoever that shows other cartel people that they're good.
The other guy, he
Is
looks
that
alright.
the,
Looks like he took a
Look.
big
Is that
chance.
Is that the...
He's like, thank Jesus. You hear him crying, the old man.
You never know, but I agree with you. I don't think these are
What's
the
he
ones
saying?
that have shit. But they would send guys like this over, right, to confuse you, to confuse the officers, correct?
Well, I mean, they send children with, you'll see all these people crossing with children, and the majority of those people crossing with children is not their children.
Look at them.
They just
They're
think that they have a better opportunity to cross with a
Dictatorship
child,
Maduro.
saying, I have my children
Yeah.
with me.
So now what are they saying to you?
Did he go to get water?
He's saying, fuck Maduro.
Oh, fucking dude.
Yeah. And they're happy to be in the United States.
Ask him if that was the coyote that was on the horse that...
And he said, no, those are friends of
Was
the,
that the
friends of
coyote
the
on the
neighborhood.
horse?
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what he said. No, it's just friends of the neighborhood.
Yeah. That just happened to be the fucking cartel.
So yeah, man, this is what we do on cleanups now. We're save 2 dudes with Narcan. Next cleanup, we're pulling people out of the Rio.
Water?
What's going on here? There's just a little bit.
These are
going on.
people, so this is right where those people just were. This is like a little bit up away from the river. We're on the road right now, and these people just crossed right here.
And again, so people know
large
this
group.
is just you feeling this place out.
Yeah. No. This shot right here is from last year's cleanup in Del Rio.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're watching right now. Those are all the Texas DPS. They had a lady from Ghana who just came in this group from Africa, and she was mad because they took her boyfriend away and sent him back, and she was able to stay because she's a woman.
Why they left? What was their reason for leaving?
El razón para departir.
What's she
So
saying?
she had the prison tat on her, the 4 dots, the 4 walls dot on the thumb, like in between the thumb and the index finger. She had that tattoo on her hand, so I didn't believe shit she said.
And what does that mean again?
It's like that shows that you serve time. The 4 dots with a dot in the middle is the 4 walls, and you're in the middle.
Oh, wow.
It's like that's a jailhouse tat
Oh,
that people that you could recognize that someone's been in. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Ask him.
She had that tattooed on her hand.
Pero muy hermoso. Una pregunta.
This guy I thought at first was a Pakistani,
He looks Pakistani.
Because they look, yeah, I know, they look very similar. So you get a lot of Middle Easterners crossing, saying that they're from Central America or whatever, because they look, dark black hair, tan.
And what's he saying? He's just saying, look, I finally got here, blah, 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 blah.
He's saying the reason why he came there was COVID was so bad in his country, Nicaragua. The people are dying, and he needed to leave.
And now tell everybody about this, how everybody can help out. And
yeah, so this is the Great American Cleanup. This is what we do every year. And what we do is we raise as much money as we can, and we donate that money directly to the sheriff's department that we're working with. In this case, it's Maverick County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Tom Schmerber, he's awesome. And we're at 4,300, looking to get to 10,000. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to hit that goal before we go.
Shout out to people that helped out here recently, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You have, if you scroll down where it says View More,
yep.
You have another moving company that I've become friendly with. His name is Two Fellas, in a Big Vehicle is the name of their company. He donated $2,500.
Great.
My buddy Howard owns an electrical company. He donated $500. His dad donated $100. My buddy Tripp, my sister, a lot of friends and family.
Anything counts, right, John?
I mean, anything.
$10.
Come on, I mean,
$20. Anything helps.
It's
right?
If you care about your country and you care about your southern border and you love our police, then trust me, this police department, this sheriff's office, they're not a police department. This sheriff's office, they need it, man. They need every dollar. They're wearing old vests. They have old weapons. They're driving old cars. Like their jails are overflowed. Their budgets are blown because you're paying out so much hours and overtime to do the federal government's job, which is protect the border. They're now protecting the border, so they're not able to police inside Eagle Pass as they should. Like they got a casino there in Texas. I think it's the only casino in Texas. It's just slot machines, but it's literally right on the Rio Grande. And the deputy was telling me, like, they fear like that the casino is going to get hit. And these people are going to hit the casino and go right back across the Rio into Mexico, and there would be nothing they could do about it. The cartels would literally just take a couple of boats, go right across, hit the casino, go back on the boats, right back across the Rio into Mexico, and gone.
And what are you going to do?
Nothing.
There's nothing you could do. How do you like that?
So that's the worry that these places are like that's a business. It's a casino. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And like they're worried every day because there's literally, it's just so wide open.
How do you compete with a multi-billion-dollar super powerful organization like the cartel? I mean, how do you do it?
You build a wall.
That's the only way, right?
You build a wall.
That is the only way. There's no other way it will stop.
You're never going to stop at 100%, but when the wall, in the areas where the wall was built,
yeah,
the statistics are, in fact, show that the wall works.
Right.
So people are going to go for the area which is the easiest area for the path of least resistance. So they're going to walk along that wall until there is no more wall, and then they're just going to go right around it.
Right. So,
and the cartels know where the easiest place to pass are.
And they're always going to get through, but the wall is going to minimize it.
Of course, it's going to funnel them into areas where you can then put Border Patrol agents there to, and like I was telling the one of the deputies, they need to harden the shores of the Rio. And the county needs to take county funds, even though I know that they're busted.
Legalize fucking weed and mushrooms.
They need
that money and fucking put it.
They need to do something, or private landowners that might be wealthy. I don't know. Maybe we need to do it. They need to do a fundraiser, whatever the case may be. But they need to harden the shores of the Rio. They need to either put and I don't even know if this kind of stuff exists, like pre-slippery rock, that like rock you could put down that's already slippery, as if like you've walked on slippery rock in the ocean before. And
you can't get up it.
Like you literally can't climb up it.
You might get a little bit up,
and then maybe throw some of those metal jacks that they have, the spikes and stuff, and throw that in the rocks. Maybe put some bougainvillea, heavy thorn or cactus, something, another layer.
But John,
you got to make it hard for the people to come.
John, look how bad it's so bad. They're giving them motorized wheelchairs.
Oh, I mean,
they're giving them
preaching to the choir.
I mean, we are so far beyond, even thinking of that. It's so far gone. Is what I'm saying.
But this is the way that you solve it. Is people have to stop. The people in these border towns have to treat the border towns, okay, as if they're their own country.
But see,
And they need to protect their own
They
country.
won't until something real crazy starts happening over and over. Not one thing, not two things, to the point where it's like massacre. Then once it's massacre, then people do something.
Well, that's
slow, how America is.
It's a slow bleed. I mean, these people are getting pumped into all over the United States, and like the sheriff is telling me, he goes, the vast majority of the people that are coming here are uneducated and possess no skills. So you're bringing in people that have no skills, that do not speak the language, and do not have even like a high school education. And what are you expecting those people to do once they get to wherever they're going in the United States?
And
they're going to get on government assistance immediately,
or they're just going to rob shit,
or they're going to steal stuff, and they're going to create gangs.
Sell drugs.
And that's how gangs get created. Is you get a couple of smart guys, and they recruit a bunch of uneducated people, and they get them to commit crimes for them. That's how you do it. I mean, this isn't. We're not recreating anything.
What's your stance? I'm asking this for a question, for a reason. What's your stance on legalization of like marijuana, mushrooms, other drugs? What's your stance on that?
Well, I think marijuana should 100% be legalized. I don't know enough about any of the other harder drugs or like mushrooms per se. I know a lot of veterans use microdosing through mushrooms to help deal with PTSD, and not just veterans. I mean, you just associate PTSD with veterans, but anybody can have PTSD.
Depression, anxiety.
You survived a car accident or whatever, you witnessed a car accident, you were a first responder on a house fire, like you can have PTSD. You're a race car driver and you made it through a crash that someone died in, and like anybody can get PTSD, right?
So we looked it up because Colorado legalized it.
Yeah.
So you could walk in. So I thought
mushrooms,
sure, yeah, mushrooms. So I thought for sure there would have been more crime rate. I really did.
Yeah.
Looked it up, crime rate down 70%.
Yeah.
So my question is, I don't know if Texas fully legalized marijuana yet or not. I don't think they did. Why not fully legalize it, legalize mushrooms, take all that tax money and put it into the border? They'll make a fucking killing. You know how much Colorado is made off of the weed being legal and the fucking mushroom?
Oh, I get that.
Tons and tons and tons.
No,
they are not
100%.
in debt a single bit. They're probably the only state in the fucking positive.
Listen, man, if alcohol is legal, and what was in cigarettes and is in cigarettes, which is literally cigarettes.
What's
are
worse,
weed
or alcohol?
Smoking cancer.
What's weed? Where's weed or alcohol, or microdosing mushrooms or alcohol?
I mean, alcohol is horrible. Clearly, alcohol is.
But I'm saying I don't understand why, like Texas, why not just get off the bullshit and your ego, legalize the shit. Look how bad this is. Take the tax money and fucking build and clean this shit up, because nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you as far as like, and this is my thing, man. Is like, I don't know what the answers are, right? Because it's not my job. All I try to do is what I feel like I can handle on my own, to lead the way. You know what I'm saying? I try to lead by example, so I can handle a cleanup. So if I can go there and get light shined on this area and get other people that probably don't know what's going on there happening, and now they see, maybe they might be encouraged to do something wherever they're from, or to a place that's near and dear to their heart. Maybe they're from Baltimore, or they're from New York City, and they want to go back and do something. Because that's what it's going to take. It has to start at the lowest levels possible, which is everyday Americans coming together to do cleanups, to do other things in the community, neighborhood watch.
You're in a fucking pipe dream. It's never going to happen.
Well,
they're too busy on their phone. They're too busy on the TV, phone primarily.
It will never happen if we just say it will never happen. Then it will for sure never happen.
It's never going to happen.
But I understand that.
The uppers have to make it happen.
But you know what? I believe it can happen. But it definitely can't happen if people like me just don't do anything at all.
No, I want it to happen just as much as you. This is fucking crazy.
They need Eagle Pass, Maverick County. They need leadership down there.
Leadership. That's what I mean.
Let me explain something to you. If I was the sheriff of Maverick County, or the Board of County Commissioners of Maverick County, things would be different there.
You know what I would do?
Because as an elected sheriff, you have a lot of power.
I would say this.
A lot of power.
I would say, hey, look, this is our county. This block of people, you guys are going to come help. This block, you're going to come help. Yeah. You have no choice.
We talked about this with the sheriff. I said the prisoners should be cleaning up the border.
Fucking right. And believe me, those prisoners would be more than happy to do it. Anything's better than sitting in
trustees.
Yeah.
You get the trustees out there, and you know it's hot. It's 105 degrees out there. Get
doesn't
them out there
matter.
for 4 hours a day.
They'll be
Doesn't-
more than, and they'll clean up
That's all
that
you
better
need.
than anybody.
Every day, 4 hours a day.
Wow. And what did he say when you said that to him?
He said that's a great idea.
I hope
He was
fucking does.
he was on board with it, but he says too. He goes, you know, I just have to be very careful because then people are going to say, "Oh my God, what are you doing to these prisoners? This is not blah 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 blah." You know what I'm saying? So
Listen, let me tell you something. They will be more than happy
Yes,
to get out of
a
that
prison?
fucking prison and
Yeah.
see sunlight
Yeah,
and
breathe.
be hot and sweat to death and talk to a human being that isn't in prison.
yes,
They'll be waiting for the next day to go clean the shit up.
I know, man.
And they'll clean it up better than fucking any citizen.
And not for nothing though, you
because
do,
they want to get back out the
and,
next time.
and of course, and you do feel good about doing, and you're doing something good.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm
Not
saying?
everybody that's in prison's a bad person.
No, I understand that.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Made fucking mistakes, whatever. And like
some
you said,
people it's the wrong place at the wrong time. Some people, you know, committed petty crimes and stupid shit, and some people, you know, are doing hard time for some really fucked up things. But
or innocent.
But the thing is like, you know, bro, let me run a prison, bro. I'll have these dudes on exercise bikes generating electricity. Bro,
Yeah.
every single prisoner's riding a bike for an hour in a day in my prison, bro. You all are going to be in shape because I'm not paying for your health care like that. You're going to ride a bike. You're going to get in shape, and those bikes are going to be hooked up to a generator. That generator is going to generate electricity. That's how we're doing it around
And
here,
you know what
bro.
the funny thing is?
You're all wearing pink jumpsuits. The chain gang is a real thing. You're going to be going around the county picking up trash. You're going to be going on the Rio. You're going to be picking up trash. That's what we're going to do, man.
But John, you know something? Not one person would have a problem with it. They'd be happy to have that bike hooked up to a fucking
Yeah.
generator. They'd be happy to.
Yep.
You'd be Jesus Christ of the prison.
Bro, this is easy stuff.
I'm serious.
Bro. We're not talking about some rocket science. These aren't crazy
But
ideas,
John, I'm
man.
telling you, they do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but you can't do it because then you have these liberal people that will come out and say this is horrible. You're forcing these people. One dude has a heart attack on a bike, and they're going to say you're a murderer. You murdered
Okay,
that
so
prisoner
let's
for
let 100
forcing him to
gazillion
exercise.
people in with fentanyl. Great idea. Instead of, but okay,
But they
well,
got fentanyl in jails.
well,
Like, how is that? I mean,
yeah,
think about that.
yeah,
Like,
and we're
people
not
do
saying, hey,
drugs in jail.
And John, we're not saying, hey, put the 70-year-old guy out there.
No, of
Trustee.
course not.
We're saying like, you know, ages fucking 20 to 40, go out and clean shit up.
Yeah.
And they'll run out there
If you don't
quicker
have
than
any-
you can let them out.
If you, I mean, they get medical care in prisons. If you're unhealthy,
what?
medical care. If you're unhealthy,
Is that so?
well, hey, if you
Where
get,
and where what
if you're
prison
having a
would
heart
that be?
attack, they're just going to let you die? No, they're going to give you medical. They're going to give you a pacemaker if you need one.
You
Bro,
whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Are they or are they
You hear
not?
him?
Hey,
They're
are
not
they?
get- you'll be dead
Are
before
they
they give you
or
it.
listen to me?
No.
Are they
No.
or are they not
Gonna-
paying for sex changes for prisoners?
That they probably are doing.
They do. They are.
But a pacemaker, they're not doing.
Yes,
that.
they do. Yes, they do. They give people pacemakers, bro. I'm telling you, they give people sex changes. They change males to females and then put them in female prisons. I know this
They
because
do
it's
this in prison?
bro. Google it.
Hey, I
a guy,
believe it. Yeah, Google that.
he got a female's pregnant, and they had to put him back in the male prison.
Hey, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Hey, I always have an open mind. You know me.
Bro,
I'm never
they
dead on
do,
anything.
man.
I've
There's
just
an
never,
infirmary, right?
Wow. Yes, there's an infirmary.
So if you are
Oh, fuck it.
screaming and yelling that your stomach is in so much pain in your cell, you need a guard, and you're screaming and screaming because you feel like your appendix blown, they're just going to let you die? And you're just in a medium, you know, guard, low.
In a medium, yeah, they'll let you die.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're not doing no pacemaker in a medium or a penitentiary. No way. Maybe in a low. Maybe. A camp, yeah, I could see it happening in a camp. Court orders first gender-affirming surgery for transgender in a first, the Federal Bureau of Prisons has ordered to secure gender-affirming surgery for transgender prisoners. A federal judge in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Illinois ordered the Bureau on Monday to undergo nationwide search for a qualified surgeon to perform surgery for an inmate. We won't even say her name. You can read it.
Yeah.
The directive will bring, Iglesias, who has been in prison since 1994 for threatening to use a weapon of mass destruction, a step closer to receiving the procedure,
There you go.
which she has been fighting to get for 6 years. The last three in court.
Bro, think about the money that was spent in court.
Holy shit.
Hey, let me explain something to you, bro. You're
Wow,
in prison.
you are right.
What
I
you're,
was
what you're gonna
completely
do is
wrong.
you're just gonna
I'm
do
sorry.
what you're told.
You were 100% right. Look, hey, I can admit when I'm wrong.
What are we talking about, bro?
I was 100% wrong.
Bro, they put they did this and then put the male and the female prison, and obviously they got 3 people pregnant. So
wow,
there you go.
I can't believe that. I mean,
I can't believe they put a male who said that there was a female in a female prison, and then they had sex and got pregnant. Can you believe that happened?
Dude, if you have an abscess in your mouth that could kill you, right? A
Yeah.
dental abscess, that can kill you. You don't even know.
Get an infection
In the blood, it will kill you.
Yeah.
You'll wait 6-9 months for that.
Mhm.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky, you'll get it done within a year.
Yeah.
For the whole year, they'll just ibuprofen. And if you're lucky, maybe in 9 months to a year, you'll go in.
Yeah.
And they're doing sex changes?
Sex changes, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's
Mind
the next
blown.
level shit.
Wow. Next level shit is for real.
That's what the prisons are
wow.
paying for.
This is crazy.
Wow. Prisons are overcrowded, but they got money for sex changes.
Wow, those private prisons are making them money, huh?
Bro.
They got more private prisons than anybody.
Yeah, man. So that's
That
where
is some shit,
that's
dirty
what they do, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow. I cannot fucking believe that one. All right. I was completely proved wrong.
Yeah, bro.
Kudos. You're right.
It's nuts, man.
Damn. I just never could imagine that. But
So-
nor could I imagine anything else that the fuck is going on.
I mean, bro, they're giving pacemakers to illegals, bro. Dentures to illegals.
You know
Anything they want. Carte blanche, roll the red carpet out, plane tickets wherever you want. Then they have
Can't believe
NGOs,
plane-
sanctuary cities. They get flown into, like Jupiter, Palm Beach County, where even if they get pulled over by the police, they just let them go. They're not calling in a retainer to
Can you
ICE to
believe that
have
they're
them
giving
removed.
fucking plane tickets and asking you where you want to go?
Yeah. You just watched it. I was at the airport.
I know. I just watched it. He's at the airport, and they're
getting on flights, man.
they're giving cell phones, like you make off better just cross. Like maybe I should go back into the Rio like real close and just cross to get a free cell phone and a plane ticket.
Yeah, bro. We had when I was flying into Del
get a
Rio, they had to
pension, too?
stop the plane because some dude hopped the fence and ran across the runway. They arrested him.
Holy fuck.
Bro, I'm trying to explain to people, if you're listening to this, man, Karine Jean-Pierre, the
Canadian guy?
No, the freaking press secretary for Biden.
I don't know.
Yesterday with Peter Doocy, right? He says, Novak Djokovic, why can't he come here to play tennis? Because he's unvaccinated. You will not allow him into the country.
Oh, yeah, the best tennis player in the fucking world? You mean?
Cannot come here to play because he's unvaccinated.
I know. That is
But then he goes,
crazy.
so that's correct. She's like, yes. So then why are you allowing people to walk across the Rio Grande from Texas and and Arizona that are coming here that are you don't know if they're vaccinated or not, and you're releasing them into the country and they're unvaccinated, but they're allowed to, but he's not. And she says, I wish you should bring it up. It's on social media. Everyone's sharing it.
What should he type in?
She, Karine Jean-Pierre, KGP, says illegals are not walking across the border, something like that. So she tells Peter Doocy, she laughs and she's like, "Oh my God, Peter, they're not walking across the border." Oh my God, like saying it like, Peter, are you crazy? You're saying that people are walking across the border into the United States.
Well, we just saw him walking, swimming, jumping, camels. I mean, all kinds of
Bro,
shit.
these people, man. This lady just says to him, and in a laughing, like looking down on him, like manner, like, "Oh my God, Peter, you're so crazy saying that people are walking across the border unvaccinated into our country. Come on, that's not happening."
Any of these, John?
No, you put KGB. Put Corinne. Put KJP. KJP. There you go. There you go.
Just click on that
first
one. Right
thing. First
there. Not,
one
Not
right
that
there.
one. Not that one.
On it. Yeah, 2 hours ago. That's it. Clay Travis,
Fuck
Buck
it.
Sexton,
Click- yeah,
React.
Click it. Click the YouTube.
That first one right there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All we care about is Spotify.
Oh, sorry. Then go
I
back.
don't-
Get off
I
that
don't
shit.
give a shit.
Allow people into the country who are trying to come here legally, who are trying to do something that, in the case of
Fast forward because
Djokovic,
maybe
generates
they'll show the clip
millions
of
and
her.
millions of dollars of revenue for vendors and for
They're
TV
going
rights
to actually
and
show it.
everything
If not, then get off
else.
of
And
this shit.
if you are one of the almost 5 million, I mean, we talked about this number yesterday. Where do people think the 75 or 85?
There, right there.
80?
It's not like somebody walks over and
Maybe go back a little bit,
that's
Ika.
that's not how.
Like right there. There you go.
You say that's not okay. Somebody walks into Texas or Arizona unvaccinated, they're allowed to stay? Why?
But that's not how it works. Like we actually, no.
I know that that's not what you guys want to happen, but that is what is happening.
But that's not, it's not like somebody walks over and that's not how.
Exactly what's happening.
Well,
Thousands of people are walking in a day. Some of them turn themselves over. Some of them are caught. Tens of thousands a week are not. That is what is happening.
That is what is happening.
Did you see how she dismisses him with a laugh? Like,
Yeah, get out of this.
they're not walking across the border.
I mean, do we?
I'm
need
like,
to,
oh, wait a minute here. Am my eyes?
I mean, do we need to send her the fucking
Was
video?
I literally not just there? And literally I have a video of me talking to a dude who just walked across the border.
And we just saw him.
20 of them
We saw
in
them
a gas station.
walking on the road as you're driving.
Listen, I legitimately have video on here of me talking to a guy soaking wet who just stepped out of the Rio right to me. I'm like, hey, I literally pulled people out of the Rio.
How would you like to have her job?
Pulled them out. What did they do? They walked across the border.
How would you like to have her job?
I mean, she's horrible at it.
Well, who's going to take it?
She is literally the worst press secretary I think I've ever seen. She is so bad.
John, what do you think? They got people fucking lined up to do that?
Bro, I mean, then you got to tell Jen Psaki she needs to stay. Circle back Psaki?
Oh, she ain't going back.
She needs to stay then.
Oh, she
because
ain't going back.
that's, I mean, there's got to be someone better than her. But she is a lesbian, black female, so the boxes are being checked. So it's just like how they say, we have to. There has to be more black pilots. So how about we just have pilots that are the best pilots that can fly?
Did they fix the pilot issue?
No, fuck no.
It's still horrible.
It's woke. They inject wokeness into it.
What the fuck is the woke thing mean again? I still don't know what that means. What is that? What does woke mean?
Woke means that if you're not about diversity and inclusion, then you're essentially a racist. That if Pete Buttigieg says highways that were built to separate black communities and white communities, and the highways are racist, the bridges are racist. That's a woke statement.
The fuck?
Like the bridges are woke, meaning like the bridges are.
Why is a bridge racist?
Because and you can Google Pete Buttigieg says bridges and roads are racist.
I believe
he says that back in the day when these highways were built, they were built intentionally through urban communities to separate the urban communities from the white communities or the middle class communities, suburbia.
Everything is racist or bullying.
Well, that's
or
wokeness.
Whatever.
That's what it
just
is.
The whole thing in general.
Yeah, it's like if you're not, if you have a store and you don't have a rainbow flag out in front of your store, then you're anti-gay.
Oh, because you don't have a rainbow outside in front of your store. Now you're anti-gay. When maybe you just don't have a problem and don't care what people do. You just aren't going to put a fucking rainbow outside.
I mean, I literally do not care, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Me neither.
I'm not interested in being friends with a lot of people. I'm not interested in, I'm interested in like working with people that they want to do their job. Like, you're here to do a job. I'm here to do a job. That's what we're here to do. I don't care if you're married to a dude, if you're married to a girl, where you're from. That's not what we're here for. Yeah. But that's what everybody makes it about. Like, when you're talking about like in children in school and they're teaching young children about racism in first grade, right? You're watching a video and your first grader is watching a video in his class that the teacher put on about a police officer taking a bike from a black kid, and you know what I mean? Like, and they're introducing
already hate
cops are bad, they're racist.
When that's one out of a million.
To a first grader.
Why don't they show when the cop goes and saves somebody?
They, of course not, but they can't do that. So,
or how about the cop that dies saving somebody? That's not on the news for a week.
No, of course not. So,
I saw this thing, right? So it was like a setup call. So they called this, I forget where it was. It might have been California. So they make this call to this, PCP or surgeon place, right? And they say, hey, I have a 14-year-old daughter, she'd like to get a sex change. And the lady, the secretary's like, oh, yeah, we do it all the time, blah, blah, blah. And the lady's like, so you guys have done this on 14-year-olds before? And yeah, we've done this. And she goes, just out of curiosity, what's the lowest age that you guys go to? It's a setup call.
No.
I think it was
I've heard this.
and they go, oh, we've done younger. We've done younger multiple times.
Due to HIPAA, I'm not allowed to. But then she says, like, on the low.
Yeah. When she said that, it was like, no, she didn't even say that. She just said, yeah, we've done a lot. We've done a lot younger before. We're very experienced with this, and so on. And
hysterectomies for children
at 14. Kid doesn't even know what they don't even know what day it is.
Bro, you remember when you couldn't get a tattoo if you were 18?
Yeah, my mom and dad and grandpa would pound.
You went to a tattoo place and tried to get a tattoo, and you're like 16 years old. They would kick you out. They're like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
And it wasn't even about getting kicked out. If you could pay him off to get him when I got home, I would have been a dead man.
Correct. Like remember those days, like where
Gone.
like now we're talking about hysterectomies for children.
Yeah. When I got
turning children from boys to girls and girls to boys.
I got my first tattoo at like 26, 27. My mom had a fucking heart attack. I never heard the end of it until she died.
Yeah.
You get more tattoos?
Yeah, my dad hates tattoos.
Fucking
Hated tattoos.
But that just shows you how fucking crazy it is. And then there was another one, and they go, so, you're 100% against no abortion at all. So if my daughter gets raped by some fucking asshole, and it's within the first, month, 6 weeks, whatever, my daughter is going to have a kid from this motherfucker? I mean, to me, that's crazy. Now, I don't think, sir, past a certain point, whenever that organism has cells and has any type of anything, a heartbeat, that's what I was trying to get to. No way. Prior to that, like rape, things like that, I don't have any problem with that. Where do you feel?
I think it's
and I respect everybody.
I don't think you cure someone being raped and getting impregnated because of it with the murder of a child. So I don't think murdering the child that had nothing to do with anything, that's now in your stomach that you obviously didn't want
prior to the heartbeat.
I still think it's a child.
Even on a rape?
Well, I still believe it's a child.
Okay, so you think even if they're raped,
I don't think fixing a rape by killing a child makes sense to me.
Yeah, but how's that kid going to get treated?
I can't answer that question, man. All I can tell you is that fixing a rape with the murder of a baby is not fixing a rape. Like,
no, I don't think it's fixing rape either.
But it just comes down to what you believe abortion is. Like if you believe that that they're killing a baby and that once the person is pregnant and that is a child, then with a heartbeat or without a heartbeat, it's I believe it's a baby. So
when is the heartbeat?
4 weeks.
4 weeks, really? That quick, huh?
4 or 6 weeks.
See now,
and I've had 4 kids. I mean, I should know this, but
I've had one.
It's like 4 to 6 weeks. So
I think anything once there's a heartbeat, no way. Prior to that, if it's rape, something like that, I'm okay with it. But if you're out at the bar and you get fucked and get pregnant, that's your problem.
So if you get raped, right? There's a thing called the morning after pill. You got raped, you should probably take that.
Yeah.
Good point. Why are you not?
Good point.
I mean, you just got raped.
Good point.
You know that you got raped. So the first thing you should be doing is, obviously getting checked out by a doctor, all right? And then telling it, I need the morning after pill now.
Yeah, it's a touchy thing. It's a touchy thing.
Well, I mean, you know you were raped, so you're going to roll that. You're not going to do that and then roll the dice of that person impregnating you?
Yeah.
You can't roll those dice cannot be rolled. You have to take it.
I'm just looking at it from like a traumatized situation. Maybe you don't think about it, but that's what you should do. You're right. That is what you should do. It's just
it is. I mean, why would you not do that?
Yeah. Well, people don't think.
And I understand there's the problem is like people like to cater every situation to make their point.
I agree with you.
To prove their point. When it's like, okay, so what's the vast majority of people that are getting abortions are not being raped? That is the smallest minority of abortions that are being, or people are having abortions because they were raped, is like the most minuscule amount of actual people are having abortions. So, but they want to talk about that particular group of people and not the group of people who are literally using abortion as birth control.
Yeah. No. That's I'm not talking about that.
But they will also say that I'm a racist, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm a racist, right? But the vast majority of people that get abortions are black females. So I'm against abortion, which means I want more black babies. You are for abortion, which means you want less black babies, but I'm the racist.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, right? When you're the one who wants more black babies.
I don't want abortion, which
Right,
means
that's
I
what I'm
want 70% of the people that commit or have abortions are black females. That means I want them to have their children, which would mean there's more black people, which would mean that how could I be racist? I want more black people, not less. So, but I'm the racist.
Yeah, that kind of makes no sense at all.
It's just, bro, because it doesn't make sense when it's all fake.
You know why?
When everything's fake, the story eventually comes to an end. It's like a liar that just keeps lying and keeps selling the story. It just eventually it all crumbles down. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Because it's easy for me. People are always like, oh, you're on the news and you do so well speaking on the news or talking to people on the radio. Because what I'm talking about, I believe in completely.
And you don't need to.
I don't need to make up stories or think about fake
flabbergasted or
things or
whatever,
not. No, bro. It's straight. Like, I want to know about the border. I see it on the news. I go to the border. I hear Donald Trump saying that Baltimore's a rat-infested shithole. As I see videos from there and I can't believe it, I go there. I trust but verify. So, like, I believe that it's happening, but let me just go there and see what's really going on. Because I don't also trust the media, because the media is in it to make money.
They're all in cahoots.
Like, bro, they're in it to make money. They sell advertising. They need to show videos and news clips that attract people to their show. Because if I'm not watching the news, they're not selling advertising. They're not making money. So there's bias just in there in the news agencies. That's why CNN shows no coverage of the border and Fox News shows all the coverage of the border. Why is that? If they're both equal.
Whoa. They don't show that much.
Who?
They don't show that much.
Fox News shows the border every day.
They show it every day, but not like they used to.
No, but
they went away from Ukraine.
CNN shows nothing.
They're all in cahoots, bro. You know it.
But my point is this: I do say that they're all it's all about making money. So when you watch the news, you got to understand that Don Lemon is making $7 million a year. Don Lemon doesn't know anything about what you go through in your life. Neither do any of these people. They're all
even the left of
very
the left
rich.
Don't like him. Even the left of the left don't like him.
Think about this: you have
fucking problem,
some of the richest people in the world are telling you the news.
I don't know why people can't just make their own fucking choice. Put some standards in there and just let people make their own choices.
I like following these Instagram news companies. Like there's one on Instagram. If you're out there, you should check it out, called Real News No Bullshit. Follow them on Instagram. I don't have anything to do with them, but I watched because it's real news, no bullshit. Like they're showing you real. It's now on the citizens to take over journalism. Okay? Yeah. The citizenry of the United States now has to become their own journalist because we cannot believe the media. Even if you're a conservative, and I watch Fox News all the time, I watch Newsmax, but I'm also, I have a brain in my head. I understand that they're running a business and they need viewers on their shows and on their videos, right? So they're going to stretch the truth. They're going to exaggerate things. They're going to do these things. I get that. Okay. But when you want to know like what's really going on, you got to go to the citizens that are showing you cell phone footage from the border. Like there's no editing that, bro. Like that is what it's like there. There's no fancy stuff that I'm doing to these videos. Like when I go live from the border, bro, it's live from the border.
You have to know the answer to this.
It's not going to a studio in New York and it's delayed and they're able to do whatever they need. Bro, this is straight up. Here's this guy crossing the Rio. You watched it as it happened. That was real. That was a real. Corinne Jean-Pierre says, no one's walking across the border. I'm John Rourke from Jupiter, Florida, now Palm City. Blueline Moving. I own a moving company. I'm a fucking nobody in the grand scheme of the world.
And
I just showed you video of people walking right across the border.
And a coyote helping them get over.
And people will believe her and not believe me, even though I'm showing you live. Says it on the corner, live.
That's why I keep telling you.
And it's right there in your face, bro. I'm showing you the truth. And you got to believe it, or you're going to believe this person whose job it is to spin everything.
They're going to believe the person this job it is to spin everything.
And
I know you know the answer to this, and you got to tell me because it's driving me nuts. Because now I see fucking my pillow. Now he's got my coffee, my slippers,
Yeah.
How the fuck does this guy have that much money to put that many commercials on prime time every damn show? He cannot be making that much money.
Bro, that MyPillow went.
He spent $300 million
ham.
in a year.
Yeah, that MyPillow went ham. Do you have a MyPillow?
I do have a MyPillow. I have to admit, I broke it.
So why are you? Then you already answered your question.
But
brother.
not that goddamn much.
He got a guy like you to buy MyPillow.
I don't like it.
So I love my MyPillow. I actually got my slippers too, and those slippers are awesome.
How are the slippers? I debated the fucking slippers.
So my kids got them for me.
If he stopped driving me nuts, I would. I
my
probably
kids
do like
got
them
them for me for Christmas.
Every time I look, he's on.
Yes,
I'm like,
bro.
how in the fuck does this
And
guy?
I'm
like,
telling
is he
you,
selling
bro.
crack again?
And I just believe his coffee probably is pretty good, and it's organic too, bro. I've looked at it and I said, if this is organic, I might actually scoop a bag just to see what's up.
He was sponsoring Stone for a while.
Yeah, bro. He used his own money to prove the election fraud. You don't think this guy cares about the country?
I just don't see
You don't want to support this
that
dude?
much money, bro.
Bro, so who are you going to buy a pillow from?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not talking about that part.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I can't believe he's making that much money.
Bro, so much money.
Hey, you know that lane more than me.
So much money.
So he's really making that
Oh,
much.
my God.
Damn. Do you have a MyPillow?
Crushing it.
No, I never even heard of this.
What?
Oh,
You don't know who Mike Lindell is? From crackhead to millionaire?
No, I have no clue.
Oh, my God.
Does he have like a documentary or?
Bro, this dude.
Okay.
You Google MyPillow and you will see the guy. There's no way you
Google MyPillow and then go to images and you'll know who we're talking about.
You
You
have
can't
to-
miss the guy. It's impossible. I don't think it's possible. To miss him.
If you don't know who this guy is, I'm flabbergasted already, bro.
Me
You don't
too.
know right off a rip. When I say MyPillow, like it's immediate. I know who this. Mike Lindell.
My pillow, my slippers,
my coffee, my
coffee,
sheets. He's
and
got
then-
them Giza Dream sheets, bro. You know
then-
he's got that Egyptian cotton.
Oh yeah. What happened with him where he wasn't on Fox for a while? They kicked him off for a minute.
Because he went freaking crazy with the election fraud.
So they kick him off Fox.
Of course they don't. The Fox doesn't want to talk about the stealing the election. But now, listen, and I'm glad you brought this up, because lately, over the last, really, man, I feel like it's been the last 10 days.
Hold on. You don't know who this guy is, EK?
You don't know that guy on the left hugging that pillow? Look how much he loves that pillow, bro.
You never seen him. Oh, he's on the grind.
You don't.
He's on the grind. Hey, he's working his ass off. That's a
That,
good.
you know what? He's
Good.
he's the grind father.
I'm glad you didn't. You don't know who it is.
No,
'cause
but
that means
in my defense, I don't watch TV like that, nor do I watch the news. So,
Bro,
Good-
get
good
you a
for
my
you.
pillow.
only watch like 3 shows in my life. So,
That's a good thing,
That's a
man.
damn good thing, right?
I just can't believe you don't know who. I thought every person in America knew who this guy was. He would. Do you understand how pissed off Mike Lindell would be right now if he found out that you had no clue who he was?
probably very pissed off. But
He
Bro.
would hack into your computer, play the 37
This
million
dude
commercials.
has spent hundreds of millions of dollars
So what
to
happened
get
with him?
people.
What happened with him?
He's a close friend of the president, and he spent his own money to prove that the election was stolen through those voting machines.
But wouldn't Fox want that as
No,
the
because
conservative station?
No, because like I said to you again, it's not about the politics for them. It's about selling advertising. So when the numbers start to dip and the numbers of viewers show they don't want to hear about the election being stolen anymore, they move on from the story.
I see. And then why did he have to go from MyPillow to like My Store or whatever he did? Same reason.
Because every store that sold MyPillow, once he did the election fraud thing, dropped his product.
Unbelievable.
Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, all the big liberal stores, woke stores, they dropped every single thing for MyPillow. So he went to the My Store where he's slanging it on his own now. And then he still has his places that there's stores that sell it and places that, support him. But
Well, same thing. Like
he stood up for what he believed in. They tried
Elaine
to cancel him.
Lancaster. They call her the Trump drag queen.
Yeah.
I had her in. I didn't know what to expect. And I asked her all the questions that you would have asked
Yeah.
her. What do you think about teaching kids this shit when they're 5 and 6?
Drag queen story
She
time.
thought that was fucking absolutely insane. It should never happen. What do you think about, girls playing in men's sports? Absolutely insane.
Ridiculous.
Right before she came out as a Trump supporter, she was on the cover of Times Magazine with LeBron James.
Yeah.
She had 186 events booked, about 2.6 million. As soon as she came out and supported Trump,
Gone.
all 280, all that 2.6 out the window.
Yeah.
all gone.
Gone.
Lost everything. And to this day, she's stuck by her ground.
Good for her.
Or his ground. Now, so when you take that, okay, she's a drag queen. He's a drag queen. That's what he or she likes. That makes him happy. Fuck it.
Yep.
Not pushing it on me.
Yeah.
Not pushing it on you.
Stay away from my kids.
Stay away from the kids. And when you ask questions,
there's nothing a drag queen knows that they need to teach my kid.
No, but what I'm saying is you would think, and like that whole community also went against her as well too, and didn't give a fuck and stuck by their beliefs, his or her beliefs. So I mean, I have nothing but with respect for James.
Listen,
Lane.
I don't dislike people.
Yeah.
Just I don't need to know anything about you, bro.
My point is
But he stuck to his guns.
Yes.
And even at default to him, at great risk to himself, risking his livelihood,
house, everything,
because he stood up for what he believed in, and I respect the shit out of that.
Till this day, sticking up for Trump.
Good for him.
And that was my point. My point was that just because Trump, drag queen, that community banned her, cut her out of 2.6, and didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
so,
man.
well, this is my beliefs.
That's why people think I'm freaking nuts.
You're not nuts.
Because I have a business and I openly support conservatism and the Trumps.
So
and
why
guys, I don't even know how else to tell people this, bro. Like, they are good people. That's it, bro. That's coming from me. I'm a nobody, bro. Like, I'm just a veteran, just like every other veteran. I have a small business. I'm not some ritzy, famous, freaking rich by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a father of 4, a husband. I'm an everyday blue-collar worker that has become friends with Kimberly and with Don Jr., and I see them in their everyday life all the time. They are about as normal as people as you can get. They come to events. They donate their money. They donate their time. On holidays, I took Don Jr. out. We went shark diving with 10 Purple Heart recipients. He donated a ton of money to them. We went to lunch. He paid for lunch. We went, took a bunch of people out. We went and watched the fireworks at night. He dedicated his entire 4th of July to these veterans and with his kids, and had the kids around, and he didn't have to do that, man. He's Donald Trump Jr., man. You know what I'm saying? He could fly anywhere in the world that he wants to go do and watch a fireworks show.
Be in the fucking Bahamas, living any island he wants.
So my point is,
all you got to do is just look how the country was when Trump was in,
bro.
Not one leader was gonna fuck with him. Shit was wrong, and while he was in, whether you like him or not, the country was great. No leader even thought about fucking with him.
No.
And if you
Strength
hated
through
him,
power.
you went home at 6 o'clock and you watched him on Fox. You could not wait till he got on, even if you hated him.
You were checking those tweets, even if you hated it. What is he going to say now? But that's my point, is like, you look at the Trump kids and you look at the Biden kids, and it's like, what is going on, bro? This guy has 2 kids that are both living. Both of them are junkies. Like, what kind of father do you think he was if both of his children are just complete and utter disasters?
And you got Trump with all fucking winners. Like, not just
every
winners.
one of his kids is a great
self-made winners.
Yeah, bro, but they're
not because
good.
of Trump.
They're good people. Yeah. Anytime he's never looked at me and like made me feel like I'm like
peasant or some shit.
Never, bro. Like, I've told you the story last time I was here. They were on his patio. He's drinking coffee. It's like 8:30 in the morning, and some guys that were working with the landscape crew walking through his backyard. He's sitting on his patio in the screened-in porch. They're like, "Thank you. We support you, brother. Thank you so much. We love you." And he said, "Oh, guys, thank you so much. You want to come in and get a selfie?" Brought them into his house, said, "You want water?" Gave him some waters, took their phone, took a picture. He's in his freaking pajamas, like pajama pants. Takes a picture with them on his patio. He hadn't even drank his coffee yet. He didn't have to do that. He could have just said, "Thank you, guys. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it." And they would have just kept walking and been happy as can be. He invited them into the home.
To me, the fact of the matter
is Donald
good Trump
dude.
Stayed real. He stayed real to himself. He stayed real. Nobody could fucking sway him. He did. He stayed him.
Yeah.
He wanted to tweet. He tweeted. Didn't give a fuck. Everybody was bitching about the tweeting, blah, 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 blah. Who cares what he says?
Yeah.
Look at the country.
Yeah, man.
Forget about what he says. Just don't turn him on. If you don't like to hear him, don't read it.
Bro,
Don't
he had
listen to
bodies of dead service members brought home from North Korea.
Home. Yeah, he did. From North Korea.
From North fucking Korea, bro.
Hello.
He walked across the DMZ into North Korea and just said, usually when there's a problem, there's this old saying, it's called grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just do that in this situation. I'm gonna grab the bull by the horns.
You got to tell this story because this is the
that's it.
best ever. the best ever when he whacked out the dude and he goes up and whispers it to him.
Oh, yeah.
You tell it better than anybody.
Yeah, he was.
Let's go.
I think he was with. It was with G.
You ever hear this?
And they were.
Watch this shit.
They're at Mar-a-Lago, and it was the president of China.
Trump's a fucking monster.
And I think he just took out a terrorist, and he
a big time dude.
Yeah, and he just like whispered to Xi, over like
the president of fucking China,
over like a piece of chocolate cake. Like, I just want to let you know we took out this guy.
Yeah, your boy's dead, pal.
Yeah,
enjoy that chocolate cake.
So
come fuck with me, motherfucker.
He's like, you just did that basically, like you just left,
Trump's
and when you just came back in 10 minutes, this dude was done. That's how we roll, bro.
He's a straight gangster, for real.
It is what it is, man.
He's a beast. You know what's crazy? Which is probably from this fucking border. So, here in Florida, we have medical marijuana.
Yeah.
5 people died from buying medical marijuana at the medical store. It had fentanyl in it.
Wow.
Somehow in between the grower to the medical marijuana, fentanyl got in it.
And that is a very like strict chain of custody. Like the trucks are secured, the people like you have to sign for everything. So the fact
before I fucked up, can you Google what state did people die from medical marijuana dispensary? I want to make sure it's Florida. It might have been a different state. I don't want to say the wrong state, but now how crazy is that? So now you go and you try to do the right thing. Man. You go to the fake doctor basically to give you a medical marijuana card. Let's just call it what it is, which is why I don't know why they just don't make it recreational and tax the hell out of it. Yeah. And you go in there, you think you're safe because you sure as hell don't want to get it on the street, even though you're paying 10 times more at the medical store. You're not trying to die. Now you go in there and you die anyway. How fucking crazy is that?
Well, I'll say it's this. It's my answer to that would just be government.
Government? Yeah.
I mean, like, even when they try to do something right, it still fuck it up.
Type in what state did someone die from marijuana at a medical marijuana dispensary or something like that? Whatever state it was, it's somewhere.
The USA Today, what a joke newspaper.
Yeah, what happened to that? Remember when we were kids, we used to get that to watch the
now
cartoons?
you only see it at like a Hampton Inn or something.
Yeah.
Holiday Inn Express. You're like, oh, the USA Today, it's still a paper?
They used to have the color cartoons in the back. Remember
they used
that?
to have a great sports section.
Yeah, the sports section was awesome.
I mean, but that's really what that was for. But I mean, dude, who the fuck reads the USA Today?
Nobody. I haven't even heard of it.
It's just... bro, I'm relying more and more on civilian news sources through social media than I am from the...
It was Connecticut.
Oh,
Connecticut. Sorry, I apologize, Florida. I thought it was Connecticut.
State slow to correct fentanyl-laced cannabis report.
So you walk in, going to Connecticut, okay, I'll take an ounce indica. Boom. You think, oh, it's safe, it's sealed. Done. Crazy, huh? Unbelievable.
And what's crazy is how little of it can kill people.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to it this morning on talk radio. The tip of a pencil is enough to kill a person.
I still never understood why they would put it in like cocaine. Because cocaine's an upper. You put the fentanyl, I mean, it would down.
I'm assuming it's not about for the up or the down. It's just to get you addicted to it.
Yeah.
And the problem for one of the problems for them is that it's killing the people that are buying their drugs.
Right, like Mr. Drug Dealer, bro.
And you're killing all the people that are buying.
You're killing your business.
But it's that dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that the fact that it's the #1 cause of death for young people in America, and literally it's almost every ounce of it is coming across the border, and we are doing nothing at the border. Think about how crazy that is. But they literally had us wearing masks, or had some people wearing masks and getting vaccines that they know don't work, but literally the #1 cause of death is fentanyl overdoses, and they are doing absolutely nothing about it. They literally have people digging tunnels. They dig tunnels under the ground into cities, and these people are just walking by the thousands, bro, every single day. In that little town I was in Eagle Pass, thousands of people every day. That's just one little spot, one little blip on that giant border. And then you have, that doesn't even include all the people that come here and just overstay their visa. They just fly here and then they just never go back. One-way ticket, or they buy a round-trip ticket so as to not look like they're being suspicious buying one way. You buy the round trip, you just never make it for that flight home. And then you're here. That's how easy it is. Easy.
Last night I had Palm Beach creamed honey in. Amazing what bees can do. Fucking crazy shit. It was really.
Oh yeah, I mean, without them, we're dead.
Yeah, without them, we're dead for real. It was super interesting, and they were in it, and they were just like, they're out like in the middle doing the thing with the bee, and then they come here, and they hear like all this border shit and everything, and they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
because they're out there with a lot of land and doing their thing and trying to keep
not paying
civilization
attention
alive
to
while we're killing everything.
Yeah.
And then they come back out and, see what the fuck is going on. They're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
6 months ago, night and day right now,
Bro, people are coming here by the thousands and have literally cannot speak English and possess no skills. By the thousands, bro, by the millions. It's estimated, I think the number came out, over 4 million people in the last 18 months that we know about.
What do you think about these student loan things?
Oh, bro, please don't get me fucking started.
This is the last question.
Bro, why in the world would I pay for some jerk off that get a Harvard degree? A single dollar of my hard-earned money. I didn't go to college. I joined the Army. I got college money.
Me neither. I didn't go to college.
I transferred it to my kids, the college money I got from the Army. They're going to get to use it. My wife didn't go to college. She went to college. She didn't graduate college. So 2 of us working our ass off to make as much money as we can. And now I have to pay taxes at the end of the year. And part of that money is going to pay for somebody else's college education.
And now let's add to that. Pay taxes, more taxes to pay off someone else's college education when you didn't even go to college, nor did I. And we're in a depression.
Yes.
Like we are in a depression.
We have like 8.5% inflation.
We're in a depression. It takes about 4 months to really see it. Like you could see that the shelves.
We're for sure in a recession. 100% recession.
We're in a depression, and that's from 2 head of the CIAs. This is a depression. They're lying about the numbers. It takes 4 months to start to notice it. The shelves start to get, because right now he's feeding people money, so you don't really notice.
Bro,
it
look
yet.
at Europe.
I know.
Look in Poland.
I know.
They're burning. They're in Germany now. They're burning wood.
I saw.
They're grinding. People are cutting down trees in forests and grinding them into wood chips, and now they're having to burn wood to generate electricity to power their towns because there's no more coal. They've eliminated fossil fuels. They're completely trying to do renewables.
And this is the fucking path that we're following.
Bro, they're going back to like ancient times, burning wood to keep warm.
This guy's nuts. And what they were saying was how the depression goes, and I'm sure you know this, but you see it now. It looks like a recession or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They lie about the GDP, of course, because they don't want people to panic. So first you see prices go up, whatever, not as much on the shelves. Then there's less on the shelves. Some people still have money. Now you don't have money. Yeah. But the people that do have money, it doesn't matter anyway because you go in and there's nothing on the shelves.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah.
Then it's just it's chaos.
It's chaos. I've always said
violence, home invasions.
People
stealing.
ask me like, when do you think like if there was going to be some kind of a civil war or civil unrest or something like that? Like when would a guy like you, right, decide that's enough? It's time, right? I'm going to literally leave my career, my business. I don't care about any of that anymore. Right? All I'm here to do is make sure that I feed my kids and no one takes my stuff. So I'm going to go into that mode. Like, what would it take for a person like you or people like you to get to that point, right? Like, standing in bread lines, that's pretty close to where I can't feed my kid food every day.
You're going to do whatever you have to do, right?
Then that's why people always will say to me, why do you need an AR-15? Why do you need a 30-round magazine? Why do you need to have 500, 1,000 rounds of ammunition at your house?
Maybe because you could see what's coming. Mm-hmm. Because if things don't change quick, and I mean quick, we're fucked.
Like Joe Biden just said, like, what do these people think they need guns? Like, you need an F-15 to come at us, right?
Well, he wants to take all the guns, so then everybody has to depend on the administration.
The reason why you have an AR-15 is because when no one can come for you, right? And when people go to supermarkets and there's no more food there and the trucks stop making the deliveries, people are going to go looking for food, okay? And they're going to come to your house and they're going to try and get your food because it's either them or you. Okay, their kids. I'm not going to watch my children starve to death without going to try and actively find or take food from someone else.
And that person is going to be feeling the same way too.
Of
and then
course.
And you can't blame them. And then you have complete fucking massacre. And you know it, and I know it. If shit doesn't change real quick, that's going to happen.
Bro, I mean, I really, really hope it does not. Okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
I just had my first fucking kid. I mean, this is the last thing I'm trying to fucking deal with.
Bro, I want nothing to do with that, man. People always say, like, oh, that's what we need. And bro, we do not need that. And I want nothing to do with that.
Because they don't understand.
Nobody wins there, bro.
Right. They don't understand that it's not just going to be people robbing Louis Vuitton and Walgreens for $900 in Walmart. We're talking killing people. We're talking...
It ain't about Louis V's at that point, bro. It's about putting food in your belly.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Or more so your kid.
Or your kid has asthma and needs an inhaler.
What are you going to do?
And you're out, you're going to go get that inhaler.
You're going to do whatever you have to do to get that.
Correct. Because that's just the way, that's primal.
And that's the
You're
thing.
going to take care of your cubs.
And John, this is what's driving me crazy. Like, I know he's a fucking asshole. I know he's nuts. And this guy is worried about student loans right now. He's worried about green. The fuck? I know it's all about money and it's bullshit, but just look at history. I know they took history out of fucking school, basically.
I mean, they take down statues now. They change the textbooks.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But all you're worried about is green, which is bullshit. It's always happened. Are we adding to it? Sure. But it's happened 100 million times over the evolution of fucking the earth.
Yeah.
Okay. Student loans, all this other bullshit, gun rights. Okay, what do you think's going to happen if you take gun rights? Like, you can't go in the street and get one?
Yeah. Criminals are going to turn their guns in?
Yeah.
They're all of a sudden going to decide that now they're going to follow the law.
No, what's going to happen is guys like you who follow the law, if they take your shit, you're going to go get one on the street.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. So
I'm sorry, officer. I lost all my guns in a tragic boating accident. Sorry, I don't have anything in here.
But John,
you saw them sending ATF agents to people's homes, right?
I did.
You saw the ATF agent that got arrested by the local police because a very smart homeowner opened the door and the ATF agent was there and said, "I'm here because you bought an AR-15 and I need to check on it and verify that it's, what you bought is what you have, etc." And he goes, "And who are you with?" "I'm with the ATF." He goes, "Okay, can I go upstairs and I'll shut the door, I'll go get it and I'll bring it down for you?" He's like, "Absolutely, go ahead, no problem." He shuts the door. The guy calls the local police, 911, and says, "I have a man outside my house that's claiming to be an ATF agent saying that he needs to see my guns. Can you please send somebody over?" Genius. I have a person impersonating an ATF agent because ATF agents would not just show up at a random person's house that bought a gun to check on that person because that's not legal. Okay, this is not the Gestapo. Okay, you're allowed to buy a gun without being harassed by the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms coming to your house to verify that you bought the gun that you have and it's in your home. They're not supposed to be doing that. Okay, so he calls the police and then the police officers show up and the guys, they draw guns on him. They're like, "Put your hands up." He's like, "I'm a federal officer." They're like, "We don't care. Put your hands up." Literally arrest the guy, put him in the car, and like this dude has been now like fired. He was screaming, "Please, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Stop!" Like I don't know if you've seen the video. It is insane. 2 police officers arrest an ATF agent outside a person's house. Is nuts. They're screaming at each other. He's telling them, "You don't know who you're messing with. I'm a federal agent. You're arresting. Here's my badges in my back pocket." Blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, dude, it was nuts. But I mean, this is what we're talking about. Like they're raiding former presidents' homes. The ATF is showing up to people's houses that bought guns, multiple videos that are out on the internet, and verifying that you do have a gun. Like,
fucking student loans, fucking, changing sex at fucking
the
12.
PPP loans,
I mean,
bro.
Jesus Christ.
The PPP loans.
Which one's that one?
I didn't take. That's the Paycheck Protection Program.
Oh, was that the one they were giving everybody like $200,000?
Bro, millions. There's people that got 20 million.
I know.
Tom Brady, I think, got $2 million for the TB12 Foundation. The fuck does Tom Brady need $2 million for?
At least he put it to charity.
It was forgiven. Like the debt was forgiven, which means the government. So the PPP loans exist where you either pay it back or the debt is forgiven because you have showed that you used the money the way that it was intended to pay for people's for their salary while the government closed your business down. Now, people are trying to compare the student loan repayment with the PPP, saying Republicans weren't complaining when the PPP loans came out. It's different because the government force closed people's business. If you were a gym owner and the government said no more gyms, how are you supposed to survive?
I told you I had.
That's what the PPP loan was for.
I told you I had that contract with that gym in New York. It was like $5,000 a day to go in there. I did all the marketing, all the SEO.
Yeah.
They tried to hang. They didn't get millions. They should have, but they didn't get any too much. I think they got like $700K.
But that's the thing. It's
and
different.
They had it closed.
It's different than you taking out a loan to pay for your education and getting a degree in gender studies or underwater basket weaving or some criminology. Like, come on, bro. Like, and now I have to pay for your loan, and it's people that are making $125,000 or less, and as a couple, $250,000 or less. If you're making $125,000 a year, I consider you to be like upper middle class or rich. Why am I paying back anything from you? You make $125K a year.
So what is the number? Yeah, we're almost done. What is the number at that you have to like pay toward the student loan? Where
you get $10,000.
Yeah.
Or $20,000 for a Pell Grant. They'll make it a Pell Grant. So it's per couple. You have a maximum income of $250,000 combined. You can get $20,000, $10,000 and $10,000. Husband and wife each get $10,000 off of their student loan debt, or up to $20,000 for some Pell Grant.
But I mean, when do we have to pay for it?
When we pay our taxes next year.
Everybody.
Yeah, they haven't even. Well, it's just going to go on to the tap. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't even tell you how many people are going to accept this. So they don't know what the total cost is going to end up being. Okay, there's all rough estimates, but they passed it without knowing how much it's going to be, how much we're going to spend. They don't know. They don't know how many people are going to do it or not do it.
Unbelievable.
So it's just a blank check.
The fundraiser, quick, so we can go over that again.
It's just a blank check, bro. That they're literally just going to just absolve people of debt. Like, how do you do that?
And how do you do it right now at this time?
But how do you pick and choose certain people that get $10K off of their debt and certain people that don't? Like,
how much usually is a student loan? It's like $60,000. Right?
Wow, I mean, it could be all the way up to $200,000.
So what is $10,000 gonna do?
Exactly,
other than put us more in debt?
Exactly,
yeah,
right?
You know
so,
what I mean?
$10,000. If you owe 80, you're just like, now I only owe 70. Thanks, government, right? But it's not that. It's the $10,000 for 10 million people. And what's that number? And that's the problem. It's like they're going to write a check for $300 billion.
Is that what they did?
Well, that's what they're going to do. That's that's part of the estimates of how much it's going to cost.
How much do you think
it could go up to $1 trillion? We're paying 8.5% inflation right now. People are barely getting by. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Okay, people are now paying for their electric bill and their utility bills on credit cards. Like, they can see that. It's more than ever. Interest rates are through the roof. You work for a mortgage company, you're not doing any refis now. So if you're not doing refis, then the majority of people that do refis are using it to renovate their home. So what were the contractors who were taking this refi money to do to fix their kitchen up? What are they doing for work? So it's just a trickle down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But they just keep giving away money.
All right, John, so tell everybody about the fundraiser and the next cleanup, and anybody that can help, please, $5, $10, anything.
Yeah, so we started a nonprofit after the last cleanup so people can get tax write-offs called We Fund the Blue. Instead of defund the police, it's We Fund the Blue. Excuse me. So basically what we do is we raise as much money as we can and we donate it to the local sheriff's department or office, police department that we're working with in the area that we're doing the cleanup to try and help them out with something. Maybe they can get some new vests or new weapons or update their shooting range or whatever they want to use the money, give their officers a bonus. It's just a token of our appreciation. It's the least that we can do to help these people out because they are legitimately like the forgotten Americans.
Right. I'm going to try to go down there with you, and then hopefully as soon as you get back, you'll be right back in here and you'll tell everybody how it went.
Oh, yeah. It will.
All right,
sure.
man. Thank you so much for coming
Of course,
in
bro.
and giving me an update.
Yeah, man.
So I'll see you probably in Texas, and then I'll see you when you get back right
Yeah,
here
man.
in the same chair.
We'll be back. It's going to be nuts.
And your podcast.
Yeah,
Talk
man.
about your podcast.
Yeah, so the John Rourke podcast, that's going to be, coming off soon. It's just, it's an opportunity to talk more about some of the things I've done and the places I've been and some of the things I'm going to do in the future. We'll be talking about like small business, being a business owner, being a veteran business owner and giving back in the community, some outside the box ideas that people can use to help market their business and promote their business,
Right.
kind of like
Doesn't
how
have
I
to be
do.
a moving business. It's just the general information on business, right? That got you where you were.
Yeah, man. If you're in a business where you sell things, then you need to be out in the media. You need to be out on social media. You need to be making videos that are getting views. And to do those kinds of things, you got to think outside the box. So we'll talk about, ways to get yourself out there that are also doing good things for other people in other places.
Excellent. And that'll be on Spotify and YouTube, and we'll have all this in the description. So once again, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you very soon.
I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to come back, bro.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.